Hi, Internet.
Oh, hey.
How you doing out there?
Yeah, you know.
Is that the internet?
It is.
Oh, that
Don't
up there?
touch. That wire that's coming out of it is very important.
Yeah. What does it do?
That's how you get the internet out to the people.
How do we get the internet out of there, and then how does it get in here?
Through the wire. That wire is very important. So
The wire. So the
please
wire.
mind the wire.
The wire goes into here. There's only. Does it go through here? I don't.
It does.
I don't understand this.
All the
internet
wires.
stuff.
It's a series of wires.
No, that can't be right. There's. You can't fit a truck in a wire, and a truck carries.
You can download that truck. I mean, I know you wouldn't, but some people would.
That's bullshit. I'd download a truck. Have you ever tried to move a mattress in a Volkswagen Rabbit?
Is that like the back of a Volkswagen?
It definitely does not fit in the back of a Volkswagen.
Your name is not Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chuck.
What?
It's not. I assure you that is not your name.
Did you change your Twitter display name to Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Did someone make a donation that you're not allowed to speak for an entire episode? Is that what's happening?
No.
Oh, okay. You just hadn't.
I hadn't spoken? I did.
Previously.
I asked if that was the internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I started that
you're
whole
right, you're right.
tangent.
Yeah, you
that
did.
whole terrible thing.
Sorry, you did. My bad.
Good job.
My
That's not a
video.
terrible thing. I'm still trying to figure it out. So how does it get in here, too?
Huh?
How does it get in here, too? There's no wire.
Magic.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Yes. All of that.
Duh.
Pretty much. I mean,
Jesus Christ. What the fuck's your problem? It's magic.
Whoa.
yeah. If you don't understand
Yeah.
something, it's a goddamn miracle. Get it straight.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We forgive you for not knowing about magic.
I knew about magic, I just didn't know that this was it.
Yeah. What else could it be?
It
I
puts
don't
the
know.
internet in your phone, and it puts whatever the magic in a young
Yeah.
girl's heart.
It's a series of tubes.
There are no tubes in this phone.
Oh, there are.
Oh, no, but there's YouTube.
There you go.
I'm the
Which
tube.
you're on right now.
I'm
How'd
the
you know?
tube.
We are on YouTube right now.
Yep.
Man.
Only because there's
making some of
nowhere
the
else
best
to go.
content on the internet possible
Yeah, we're content
Are we?
creators.
right now.
Oh, man.
That is happening.
Have we monetized engagement yet?
No, but we are streamlining and diverging our synergies.
Guys, I'm thinking.
We're disrupting.
I think we.
Oh,
should,
man.
we should.
Massive disruption.
We should blue sky this entire thing.
Nah.
No?
We should. I wish I could bullet the blue sky.
Huh? Are you gonna put a pen in it? Put a pen in the blue sky.
Yes.
Touch base.
God damn. I had to put
I am the
I
ace
had to
of
put the
touching
quotes
base.
in all caps, even though they weren't spoken as if they were in all caps.
Mm-hmm.
They still felt important enough to be in all caps.
Yep. How you doing?
You did catch that one line, number 32, was said by the guy that he said it to
Yes.
earlier. Okay,
Yes.
I was just making sure that
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that was a callback.
Oh, yeah. This movie's full of
I
callbacks.
just, throwing that out there. Not everybody catches everything, so. Not accusatory, just curious. Curiosity.
Good Chuck. In the comments. What are you thinking?
What'd I do?
You just did. You can't declare yourself those things.
That's stone
You're not a
cultural
practitioner of magic.
appropriation. Magic is a treasured art. What the fuck did that guy call it?
Oh, man. Yeah, what was
I
it?
feel I'm so dumb right now.
You are pretty dumb.
Can I call you San Antonio?
What?
Chuck said I'm Little Austin. I said, can I call you San Antonio?
Yes.
All right. Cool. San Antonio. Yo.
Lil.
Lil.
I appreciate anything with Lil.
Lil.
You're Texas baby rattle, so you're a freaking huge
Yeah.
rattle.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really big for a rattle, but he's
Yeah.
he's a
But I'm
a
pretty,
baby's rattle.
I'm a pretty good baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're about average size for a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
A Texas baby.
Yeah. I mean,
I've seen other babies. He's pretty big for most babies.
I'm the prototypical
Texas baby.
Texas baby.
Texas baby. Oh, yeah.
I gotta get my head in the game.
Oh, get all...
Where's your head? Where's your head at?
I don't know.
Where's your head at?
Put your fucking
Where's
head in
your
the game.
at?
Get in the game. Hey.
Hey,
Man,
I need some...
BJ,
Austin has us
don't let these walls
tonight.
cave in on you.
I'll try not to. I need some electronic arts.
Because it's in the game?
It's in the game, yeah. EA Sports.
I should lube.
It's in the game.
Yeah, you should lube. That's what I was just doing. It was all.
always
It's all
lube.
in my crevasses now.
Ooh,
Man.
crevasses.
Yeah.
You gotta lube the fuck up.
Ow. It's just. It's all moist.
Rah.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. The arsonist has oddly shaped feet.
Oh. Got all the red rocket thing going on here. What's that shit?
What?
Chapstick.
No, I've got the red rocket thing going on.
Oh, God. No.
Red rocket.
No, I have the actual literal red rocket thing. Going.
Stop. Please stop that. Stop it.
What? I'm going to hijack the camera for a second.
What?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to come over here so I can show everybody exactly what this says. You're the bomb.
Sold out.
You should call that Mabel.
Mabel? Mabel? Maybelline? No?
Lil. Ah, man. That's some good water.
Oh, no, you have rock water. That's not cool.
Mmm.
They were feuding back in the day.
Oh, were they?
They're friends now.
They're friends now. But
Well, yeah. That's because they're big, huge stars opening multi-million-dollar movies every week.
Every week.
yeah. A lucrative Steve Austin film franchise
Yep.
of...
He's got a reality show.
See, John Cena has a reality show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why he left the first time. And then he came back and got injured.
Mm.
That jerk.
Yeah.
So what's his reality show?
It's
Is
probably,
it How Not to Be Seen?
No.
Starring John Cena?
It should be, but it's just more like American toughness.
Step 1, don't stand up.
I'm sure there's a lot of giant tires being rolled around.
Is there a lot of this?
There should be some saluting. There's probably an episode on a battleship.
Yeah, because
The
like there's a
USS
Navy
America.
SEAL and a Marine, and
Mhm.
you know all of them are the trainers
Yeah.
of these people, these contestants.
Come to think of it, The Rock had a reality show, too.
Yeah, he had almost the exact same
Yeah,
thing, if
they-
I remember
yeah.
right. I never watched it. I wanted to, but I figured it would be The Rock just showing up like in the last 5 minutes, be like, "Good job, keep it up."
Here's your reward.
Yeah.
You get to have dinner with me where we eat pancakes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want this reward? It doesn't matter.
We're all eating cod. 10 pounds of cod right now.
Enjoy some salty cod.
Yeah. Salty God.
Put that cod in your mouth.
I can enjoy a piece of cod. A cod piece, if you will.
All right,
Light this candle.
All right.
let's do this, man. Let's talk about
Yeah, man.
Steve Austin's movie.
Let's watch this thing.
Yo.
Yo, indeed.
Yo.
I need my notes. Where'd they go?
Totes yo.
Tocho. All right, here. Let's put some things up. Wha-pow! Wha-pow! Bye, Chuck.
See ya.
Wapow. All of the things have wapowed now.
Yes, all of the wha-powing is now done.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey!
BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Oh, there he is.
Episode 316. By God, that's BMFcast music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Florida Bad Movie Snakes.
You're right.
We swear we didn't plan this, but here we are.
Oh, no, we totally planned every bit of this. We've been planning it for 7 years.
That's why we started when we did, because we did the math and said, if our 316th episode happens to come out on March 16th, let's do
That's why we
Steve
had that-
Austin movie.
Yeah.
Really weird schedule for a while. It was kind of sketchy,
Sure.
and we skipped some. And
Yeah.
That's why we take a week off every now and then.
But
Yep,
here we are.
We got
We're messing up our flow right away. Let's introduce ourselves. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
Let me explain what it is we do each and every week here on the BMFcast.
Okay.
Besides have these serendipitous things happen, we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Yeah, we come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. I got 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
All right.
Oh, yeah, Robot Jock.
That's a movie.
However, there are sometimes bad movies that we should stay away from. And they get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in douchebags, after Twilight.
Ew.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Not
we don't
good.
like those things. So
Yep.
yeah, as I said, this weird kind of fortuitous thing happened where it all came together for 316. So we were watching 2010's Hunt to Kill starring Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. Part of the march
Yeah.
to Russell
March
Madness.
to Russell Madness. Again, a thing we planned before we realized it was going to be our 316th episode on 316.
No, I planned it from the beginning.
Sure, yeah. So let's get a plot summary for this masterpiece out of the way.
Yep.
Jim Rhodes is a tough divorcee, mourning the loss of his murdered partner while struggling to raise his rebellious daughter in the mountains of Montana. But when a crew of trigger-happy fugitives takes Rhodes and his daughter hostage, a rugged wilderness will explode in all-terrain vengeance.
All-terrain vengeance. I like that he's a divorcee, much like a fiance.
Yes.
It's kind of the horrible mirror image of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we'll get to all that
Oh, yeah.
because we've got this thing starts not in the woods.
No. It starts at, like...
All right, so he's a border patrolman, and he's
Yep.
on, like, the Texas border.
Yes.
He and Eric Roberts,
Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
the BMFcast own Eric Roberts,
Of the ambulance fame.
are staking out a trailer suspected meth lab,
Yeah. It's just this big trailer in the middle of nowhere. They're like, huh.
like in a quarry.
Yeah.
So they're just like watching it, and it's just exposition time for him and Eric Roberts to talk about what I just talked about. That his wife left him, and he's stuck with a daughter, and now he's taking a desk job, and he's boring now.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
lame. He's calling for backup. Eric Roberts doesn't know who he is anymore.
And apparently,
yeah.
where they are, it's like that's going to take 6 hours. It's an empty trailer. Let's just go see what's going on.
Yeah, like the old days. Let's you and me just fucking bust in that thing and just
Yeah.
open fire.
Let's not have concern for our own lives.
Nah,
or
let's
anything.
just get in there and do it.
Oh, and he gives him a going away present. He gives him a watch.
Yes.
This watch from
watch.
Eric Roberts.
Up his ass.
It's a special watch though. It's basically a watch with the band is like one of those paracord bands.
Yes. 800 feet of rope on it.
Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah. It's
Now I'm wondering, with this watch, if you take the band off, you're never putting the band back, are
no,
you?
no, those things.
The band is never getting back together.
It is-
No, it is not.
No.
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 The band is done.
Yeah. Consider that act the Leonard Skinner of plane rides. Like it is the band is not getting back together.
Jesus.
Well,
Yeah.
That took a dark turn.
That's what happens. You buy a new one.
Okay.
So
yeah.
so they're hanging out, and like he gives him this watch. He's like, "Yeah, good luck at watching the minutes tick down at your desk job.
Yeah.
Let's go raise this place."
living to raise your daughter. and
Right.
Bullshit like that.
Be a father, you tool.
Yeah. Big loser. Raising a kid.
Yeah.
Just being responsible.
So hey, how about one last time we just go fuck this thing up. Let's just
He
kick in the door.
He basically taunts Stone Cold into basically storming this meth lab without backup or anything.
Yeah. He's like, come on,
He's like, it's just going to be empty. You know it.
let's just get in there.
But just in case. Let's
Yeah.
go in. You kicking the door down. Let's do this. And Austin's like, oh, all right.
I got your 6.
I thought it was Eric Roberts who had a 6. I don't know. Whatever.
Someone had someone's 6.
They also have
and then
very
both
weird
just-
guns. I'm still not entirely sure if they're shotguns or I don't know. They look kind of like shotguns, but they've got whatever. Whatever. BJ's not paying any attention, or he'd probably know what they were.
He's looking
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
on
The
the-
shotguns?
Were they shotguns?
Oh, yeah.
But they look
Yeah.
like they had like magazines sticking out the bottom. I don't know.
Yeah, I meant to look them up.
right.
IMFD.
You get on that. We'll keep going.
Get on it.
Yeah.
So they bust through the door, and yeah, it's an empty meth lab. They're just like, yeah, well, this place is shitty. There's plastic dividing rooms and meth shit everywhere. So let's call in the hazmat unit. And they walk out like, well, yeah, told you. We just, saved 6 hours not listening to the radio. And that's when, like, there's a trap door. They're, like, just outside. The trap door opens up, and, a couple of guys come out,
They sneak out.
and they're like, yeah, let's shoot them. Because Eric Roberts, I think, steps back in.
He does. He's like, see,
Yeah.
look, it's nothing
He's
but
like, "Oh,
garbage in
fuck."
here. Blam.
Yeah, he gets shotgunned to the chest.
Yep. Flies into the wall. Slumps down.
Yeah, Steve Austin kind of like falls forward and like almost immediately like shit start getting set on fire. Oh, what he does, he takes out the two guys. Like
Yeah.
he comes back in and like shoots the two of them, and like shit is now on fire because things have fallen over and there's lots of
Yeah.
exploding
Yeah.
things in
And
there.
there's one guy shooting through the floor, through the
Right.
hatch, and he basically gets that guy to come out.
Yeah, he shoots through the floor and is like, "Come out."
He's not having any of it. He's just
Yeah.
like, you put that gun down, you come out here now. Guy's like, all right, man.
Yeah. So
All right.
somehow Austin drops his wallet and the guy
Because
takes
he
it.
gets stabbed.
Oh, he gets stabbed.
The
in the leg.
guy-
Okay.
Whips out a knife and
Yeah.
stabs him.
Stabs him. Yeah. So he's like, "I got your wallet, and I know where you live now. I'm gonna, you have a pretty daughter. I'm gonna go pay her a visit." Ha ha ha.
Yeah, we're like, wow, setup.
Yeah. Well,
Nope.
Except no, not at all, because he's like, I'm going to go see her after I kill you. And he's standing there about to kill Austin, and that's when, Eric Roberts wakes up enough and shoots him in the head.
Yep.
Shoots this guy in the head, and he's gone. He's done. He's dead. And this flame is now building up to the point that, like, Austin is on one side of the fire, and Eric Roberts is on the other side. And he's like, I'm done for, spitting out blood. Just get out of here. I'm
He's
done.
a mouthful of blood. Just get out
Get out of here. Just done the blow.
And Austin's like,
Don't lose that watch.
yeah. And Austin's like, yeah, all right, see ya.
Yeah, well, he dives out the steps of this trailer as it kind of partly explodes, part CG explodes behind him. Like there's a trailer, it looks like they blew up, but like
They enhanced it.
Steve Austin was nowhere to be found.
No.
On that shot. And,
No.
so
It blows up a couple times.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, that's it for Eric Roberts.
Yeah. Well, Stone Cold gets blasted to the ground, sees his face hit the ground. And
Right.
then when he wakes up, he's in a forest.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
and part of me was like, oh man, like the other rest of the gang kidnapped him and has set him here so he can be hunted to kill.
Yeah,
But no,
still didn't know what the plot of the movie was at this point.
yeah. But that's when it's officially been a cold open because
Yeah.
now it's credits and it says Montana 4 years later. And we know, I guess Eric Roberts definitely isn't in this movie.
Yeah.
Because there was a part where we're like, oh man, if Eric Roberts survives that, holy crap.
Well, there's like a mid, late title sequence that's just these shitty titles over Austin getting
They're
up.
the cheapest ass direct-to-video.
Well, they're
so
super
bad.
sparkly, and I don't understand. Like, someone's just like, I don't know, After Effects sparkle.
Yeah,
effects?
they found a filter in After Effects, which is like, all right, we're running this action.
Yeah.
They are terrible.
So
I swear, when I did no research on this movie except for the cast, and was like, obviously Eric Roberts is the bad guy, and Steve Austin has to fight him. And when he went out in the cold open, I'm like, well, shit, what the?
Yeah.
Well, I was like, oh, is he in on? Well, the whole time I'm like, okay, when does Eric Roberts turn on him? Because
Right.
that's immediately what you think. Like, oh, he's going to go in there and get shot in the back. He's like, I was running the meth operation the whole time. Bye.
It was me all along, Austin.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that doesn't happen. Like he's gone.
Oh, yeah.
These credits happen, and we get an ad Eric Roberts. It's like, well, yeah, not anymore. But there's some other
And formerly Eric
There's some
Yes.
other names, people you might recognize in the cast. There's Gil Bellows from Things, Ally McBeal, and lots of other things. There's Michael Hogan from Battlestar Galactica.
Gary Daniels,
Yeah,
who's a lot of direct-to-video stuff, but he was the dude in Expendables that got the sweet neck thing.
Yeah. I think he's been in, like a bunch of Jackie Chan movies and stuff
Yep.
too. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
The doctor from Battlestar Galactica.
he's in it
this.
like briefly. But
Yep.
yeah, it's just like there's a couple people who go like, oh hey, is that And yes, it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, these title things, and it's just Austin. He's hunting. He's bow hunting a deer, and we never actually see him because they didn't actually bother to find him and a deer in the same shot. We just get the shot where he's drawing the bow, and like there's a deer in his eyeball, and that's like the directed by shot, and then it's like arrow flying at the camera. And time passes.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, is he going to be able to kill? Yeah, oh, he's totally able to kill.
Yeah.
Fucking murders that deer.
And again, it's just like, all right, new place, other things happening.
Yeah, Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, Reno, Nevada. There's now a heist happening.
Yeah, it's nighttime, middle of a car chase.
Well, not even that. It's like first we get like a tech guy in back at the lab, and he's basically
Smarmy tech face.
yeah he's like this kind of movie hacker dude with like fingerless gloves, and he's routing everything through other services, and he's on the police channel, misdirecting them and stuff. Like
He builds a program that imitates the voice of the dispatcher.
right.
Yeah, calls off the dogs.
Yeah.
Because that would work.
Oh, it totally works.
They're totally going to hear that coming over the radio and be like, legit.
Yeah, you
The
saw
dispatcher will hear it and think it's legit as well.
You saw all those computers he had.
Yeah.
He did have
He had a
several,
lot of
He had
computing power.
several
several
to pull that
monitors.
off.
Yeah.
And a chair with wheels on it. So he could do pretty much anything.
Yeah.
fingerless gloves.
Well, it wasn't a wheelchair. It
Blue
was
and white
a
stripy
chair with
fingerless.
casters on it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it was a wheelchair.
Well,
It
I'm
was
just
a chair with
clarifying.
wheels.
He was on a chair with wheels. Casters.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's a dude.
He also had good movie hacker typing.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Where it's like that staccato, like very exaggerated. I
Yep.
love it. I always love it when it's like like if you actually looked at the screen at what they're typing, it's like just gibberish.
It's just constant.
yeah.
Oh, just fart noise.
Yep.
Oh, he's just typing rap or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But the rest of the crew,
Yeah, the rest of the
gets
crew
there
shows up.
because he got the dogs called off, and
Yeah, and it's a motley crew. It's
Yeah.
Michael Hogan's the leader of it, and he's talking on the radio, and I saw him in the credits, but I was like, oh, there's Ty, so I was like, he's in this, obviously, he's one of the bad guys, and Go Bellows gets out, it's like, oh, okay, he's one of the bad guys too, and there's blonde lady who's like under her. They never really explain what the heist is, but like they come out of these jumpsuits, like janitor jumpsuits, and she's got like a cocktail dress on, and it's like, I kind of want to know what the scheme was before this. Like,
yeah, there was a complicated heist that we never get to see,
Right.
but they all had roles in it.
sure, I'm
Because
just saying, like, what's under their jumpsuits?
Yeah.
Like, what all were you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's some other movie.
and it's established that her name's Dom, and she's kind of like hooking up with the old guy,
yep,
or at least seems to be, because he's kind of
Dominica was her name. That's
Yeah.
yeah, Dominica, but he's kind of implied that
Finest
he
ladies
was
are named after cigars.
Yeah, he kind of like it's implied that the old guy was the one running it, but then it was actually Gil Bellows who was kind of made everything happen.
Yeah,
and the old guy was,
and
taking
also there was
credit
history
for it.
with her.
Yeah.
because that's immediately like he's kind of like she goes over to hug Ty. It's like he's just looking at her like, you son of a bitch, you
Yeah.
took my
Yeah.
woman.
And Gary Daniels is Jensen, who's kind of like the
He's the foreigner.
yeah, he's the foreigner, but he's also like the silent muscle type guy,
Right.
And there's who was that? What's the Adrian Holmes is black guy named Crab, who's just kind of establishes the loose cannon.
Oh, his name is
'Cause
Crab? I thought
his
they
name's
just
Crab.
kept calling him Crap.
Nope, Crab. But he was the wild card because
Yeah.
eventually Gil Bellows pulls him aside. He's like, we can't.
He's the Michael Madsen of this
Yeah.
crew.
Yeah,
Who's
and
just like, I don't know why we brought this guy on. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, because Gil Bellows pulls him aside and he's like, yeah, I know, man. I know I shouldn't have done that. And Gil Bellows is like, yeah, you shouldn't have. Don't fuck up next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's kind of your crew established there. And they're like, all right. And the old man is like, all right, good job, guys. Let's split up and then we'll meet up here or whatever.
Yeah.
And takes off in the van.
I'll take the van.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Not after being hugged by Gil Bellows. It's like, oh, this is great. This is the best.
I was like, did it.
But you can tell there's animosity there.
Yeah.
Because we find out just a few moments later, they're like, all right, open up the bag and let's
Yeah.
find our bonds that are worth money.
Let's look at the thing.
Millions and millions.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a bomb in the bag. He set us up the bomb.
The computer guy says, those aren't bonds.
Oh my God, those aren't bonds. There were like 5 bags that they pulled out
Yeah.
and set on the table. They opened one and it was full of bomb.
Right.
Yeah.
U.S. bombs.
And of course,
Gary U.S. bombs.
and of course, there's a cell phone sitting on the top of it. And they're like,
Uh-oh.
if that phone rings, we're dead.
Yeah. And Gil Bellows is like, I got this.
They're like, it's 2010. Where'd they get a Nokia?
Yeah. Gil Bellows is basically like, I'll just defuse this bomb. And they're all like, you don't know how to defuse a bomb. And he's like, yeah, I do.
You have a better idea?
So he goes over to cut the wire and, cuts it as the old man's calling the phone.
And they're all like, don't answer it.
Yeah.
Don't answer it. But of course he has to answer it. He
He
goes
was
like, you missed.
Yeah.
Now we're going to fucking kill you.
And the old man's just like,
Yeah, all
whatever.
right. He's
I
actually
love how
kinda
the old man takes it in stride. He's like, well,
Yeah, well,
I'm driving down the road in a truck with
I
the
should've figured
bonds,
on that.
So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Good luck.
maybe I should have had 2 bags of bomb. I don't know.
Yeah. So it basically, they're just
Gotta
like,
have a
well,
backup
fuck,
bomb.
he's gone with the bonds. What do we do? And Gil Bellows is like, hey, he's got a tracker on him.
Yeah, they
Let's track
hugged it
him.
out and he put a tracker on.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and they're all like, you son of a bitch. That's like every greeting in this movie or sign of endearment
Well,
is.
it's definitely Gil Bellows was told like you're a tough guy who swears a lot.
Yeah.
because like everyone's a motherfucker or it's fucking this or fucking that and whatever.
It feels
Doesn't
like the
matter.
role was written for someone else. It doesn't seem
It
to fit him
does.
very
It feels
well.
like he was like the third choice
Yeah.
because the other guys backed out.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're just basically like, we know where he's going. Let's go.
Yep.
So then just, cut back to Montana.
Yep. And you've got
We find out like Austin actually lives here now. Like he has a cabin, he has a daughter, and they live kind of like now basically almost on the border of Canada. You know, they traded one border from another, and
she does not want to be there.
now she's got a Jeep Wrangler, and she's just like on a phone to somebody, and it's just like, man, fucking woods. Why am I here? This sucks. Sucks. And she goes to start her Jeep, and it won't start. And she's like, this sucks.
This is the worst. Everything about this is the worst.
She calls her Jeep a big pile. That's all she says.
Yes.
Like, this stupid pile.
pile.
But
okay.
That's when Austin magically shows up and is like, what's wrong? Oh, I think you flooded it. Here, let me fix this. But all it really serves is just like, I hate you, Dad. I hate being here. This sucks.
It's the setup that we've seen in every movie ever, where the kid hates the parent who's eventually going to save them.
Right.
But it's increasingly annoying because she is just like, he's like, I'll fix your Jeep. Just sit in there. I'll tell you when to start it. And then every 2 seconds, she's like, now. He's like, no.
And he keeps like patiently, like we get this shot from like her perspective where he just keeps patiently around the hood going, not yet. I'll tell you when.
Just wait, child who is 25.
Right.
Yeah. And she's like, cool, thanks. You know, he fixes it. She's like, all right, see ya.
Takes off.
And he's like, oh.
And
kids.
like he makes one phone call where he's just like, he's back inside because they were supposed to hang out or whatever, and he just makes one phone call to like, I guess one of his colleagues or something, and it's just like, hey man, how's it going? What's going on? And the guy just kind of blows him off very quickly, like, enjoy your life. You're not working right now.
Right? Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, you can't take my shift.
And like one phone call later was all it took for daughter to go into town, try to shoplift, and get arrested by the doc from Battlestar Galactica, who's the sheriff of the town.
Yeah.
And
he just calls Austin.
he's like,
got your kid here again. She's being stupid.
I kind of like her, but damn, like seriously, enough. It's a small town.
Put a leash on this idiot.
Yeah.
So the bad guys are in town, and they're just hanging out in front of the building.
Well, of course.
And Crab is pacing back and forth outside the van in the rain while the other guy is sitting in the passenger seat hacking away on his little laptop.
He's just bitching about everything.
Yeah, and the guy's
fucking
like,
raining.
I hate the rain and it's cold out here. And it's like, it's an SUV.
Yeah.
It has multiple seats.
You can sit anywhere you
Take
like.
one.
Which seat is mine?
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Kicking on
Hacker
the front seat. Yeah.
Hacker guy's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Gil Bellows and crew go in and immediately are threatening the sheriff, and the dominatrix trick is beating him with her little, one of those batons that snaps out.
It's called an asp.
An asp?
And also, they're fucking hard as shit.
Oh, yeah.
She would have killed that old man
Easily.
in one hit. I mean, those things are solid fucking
To the
metal.
jaw,
Yeah.
he would have been fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't understand why you just roll up into this tiny town in Montana and immediately start menacing the fuck out of law enforcement.
Yeah, their plan was bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Their plan should have been just find a mountain man to help us traverse the...
Right. It should have been find Stone Cold Steve
Hey,
Austin,
Gil
the Mountain
Bellows,
Man. Yeah.
Use your words.
Yeah. But no, it's just...
Yeah, or you go to the sheriff and you're like, oh my God, our friend was up here hiking. We need your help finding him.
Yeah, but
And then
no,
he's like,
he hasn't
"Oh,
been
I
in
know
touch
this
with
guy's
us."
stone cold.
Yeah.
He knows everything about
Yeah.
the mountain."
But he walks in with a sucker, just menacingly sucking on
yeah.
it, and it's just like, oh, I believe we have a problem here.
I need some help with something. And someone's over there going, shh, to the blinds. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
gee, I wonder what this is going to mean.
It's like, oh, here come the worst people.
This dude is 70. He's seen everything.
Yes. And so Austin's on his way up there, and just walks in. It's just walks in and just walks into the chaos of what's happening in there. He's just like, whoa. And they're all like, oh, whoa, hey there, guy. What the hell do you think you're doing? And he's like, why don't we make a trade? Like 5 seconds into this, it's just like, hey, how about we negotiate? What's going on here? And they're just like, nah, I think we got the upper hand here. We're okay. And that's when Crab comes in from outside and shoves a gun in Austin's back, and Austin just immediately grabs it and whips it around and puts him in a chokehold.
Yeah. The old, I'll shoot your friend. They're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, he also says, I can break his neck and shoot you at the same time.
And they're like, no.
But they use this as another excuse to make the daughter terrible, because the dominatrix trick goes in the back and like takes her little baton thing and is like holding it through her throat, and it's like
It's not even near
it's like
her
on her
throat.
collarbone, and
Yeah.
she's just like,
Yeah. She's acting like, dear God, I can't breathe. It's like, it's not
I'm
even
like,
touching
it's,
you.
It's resting on your collarbone.
Yeah.
Like you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it eventually ends up Austin tries to shoot Gil Bellows. Just as like, fuck it, and tries to shoot him because they've just shot the sheriff in the head.
Yes.
But they did not shoot the deputy.
Yeah.
No. because there wasn't one.
Yeah. And of course, he had unloaded the gun that he had given to Crab because he didn't trust him.
Yeah. Gil Bellows is like, oh yeah, I'm 5 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
he's
should,
like,
it should
also-
be pointed out they're also he's sidestepping every opportunity to connect him to to his daughter. Like,
Yes.
they're not. He's like, let the young girl go.
young lady go.
Yeah.
And for once, the daughter is not like, "Oh my God, Dad!"
Well, she's
Yeah.
making
What's
eyeballs,
happening?
and he's just like he's stone cold facing it, and it's like, stop,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stop acting
making
stupid.
your eyeballs.
We
Yeah.
don't know each other. We're just two people in
Yeah.
this police station.
But he's like, look, whatever you need, I know shit, so
I
let's
can
go
navigate
get
the
gear
woods.
Yeah.
We need gear. This is how much supplies we'll need because it'll take us a couple days.
Yeah.
You know, he's immediately like very genial to this group. He's just like, you know, it's not like you sons of bitches. I don't want to help you, but
Real
God
Stone
damn it."
Cold would have given the middle fingers, kicked him in the gut, and given him the Stone Cold Stunner.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
what
in
he
this,
should have done.
he's just like, yeah, well, you guys can take that truck and I'll take this one. You know, it's probably better gas mileage.
Yeah, and there's voiceover while they're driving up the mountain, and it's basically like, yeah, the weather here, you know, sometimes it's nice and sometimes it's not. And it's
a lot
like,
of rain.
well, that's
Pacific
nice.
Northwest.
I don't know. It's if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. It'll change.
So
I think that's what they say, right?
So stick with me, I'll keep you dry.
Hashtag small talk.
I'm Steve Austin,
Let's talk about the weather.
your buddy.
Welcome to Montana Public Radio. I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, the weather changed.
I can feel it in my bad
Got an
knee.
update.
Knees.
Yeah, bad knees.
So they get up in the woods, and it immediately is just like, tie her up, leash her around for the whole movie, and, you know,
And they're all like at each other's throats the
Yeah.
entire time. Like Hacker Guy
Yeah.
and Jensen just don't get along.
Well, it's
and they're
every
yelling at each other.
cliched like low budget heist, crew because
Yeah.
it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
I
crew
mean,
is always just out of control.
every time I'm just like I keep thinking of is it this Kids in the Hall sketch who's like you better stop acting up or this will happen to you because that's how like often they're going through their henchmen. And,
Yeah. Yeah, they're all and Austin is just standing there watching all of it, like, all right, I can work with this because I'll kill all these assholes.
Yeah, and he's pretty much as he ends up telling the daughter eventually, he's like, just wait, they're gonna fuck up. Like
They're going to
that's
get so
all we have to do.
They're going to
is
get
wait.
so exhausted they'll be out of their minds. So, and they already are.
Yeah, but that's clearly his plan, and he's just like, all right, let's get in it.
Well,
Heading in the forest.
This is also like step one of the daughter's pretty much fucking up the hidden identity thing because
Yeah.
she's just like hanging out. He's like, play it cool.
Yeah.
We'll wait till they fall asleep. Now, fuck off. And she's like, but what? And he's like, oh, wait,
Yeah,
we don't
just
know each other.
Stop talking to me.
yeah.
And they all just start splitting up, and then like
Yeah, eventually, like
The girl-
she says she has to go to the bathroom,
Right,
so she and because Hacker Dude is just chugging water, like just chugging it, and Stone Cold's like, "Gotta last 3 days. If you drink all your water, you're not gonna last a day. You can last multiple days without food.
You can last a week without water.
Yeah, but without water, you're a fucking dead man."
yeah,
And the guy's like,
Dong.
"Whatever, I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
This is the worst."
drink,
But
suck it.
yeah, he's like, "I gotta pee. I've been drinking so much."
Yeah. So they're all like, okay, let's all pee.
Yeah.
So Dom takes the girl off to go pee,
yeah,
and there's a commotion.
yeah.
And Austin's like, well, I'll go check that out. Because apparently no one's watching him.
Nope.
And he gets there, and so...
And Crab he's on top of the daughter. He's knocked out Dom, and he's on top of the daughter.
yeah, it's bad. And Austin's like, fuck that noise.
Yeah.
I'm going to wreck you.
Which he proceeds to do.
yeah. Twists his arm behind his back.
Yeah.
Basically
till the
puts him in an
guy's-
arm bar and,
Yeah.
and breaks his arm.
And the guy's like, stop. And
Yeah.
then...
And now like, everyone else has shown up, and he's like, now he's got him like in a Boston crab lock or something.
He has him in the angle lock.
Oh,
Yeah.
an angle lock. Yes, sorry.
Patriot lock.
But anyway, he's
He
got him.
doesn't stop.
He's got him in an ankle lock. How about that?
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, you know what? Twist.
Yeah.
Until it's just
It's like, ah!
Yeah, the guy's like, okay, all right, I get it. Okay. He's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Snap.
it's the sound effect of Steve Austin's hand around a head of lettuce. He's going,
Yeah. And that guy just like...
and then all those people react too. They're all like, oh, like Gil Bellows like magnum up in the air, like, whoa, oh,
Like, Gil Bellows is wrong for this movie, but I appreciate that he's doing basically what Robert Patrick did in the John Cena movie
The
in
Marine.
the Marine,
Yeah.
where he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be zany.
Yep.
So he's just like,
I think
man, this is great.
I think he's fantastic in this.
It ain't acting unless you're overacting.
Yes, I guess that's what I mean is like he's miscast, but he makes the best of it by just being crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
he may be originally miscast, but he ends up being the perfect choice by the end of the movie because he's like, well, you didn't want me, but I'm bringing my A game.
He fills the role as the movie goes on better.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so eventually he shoots the gun in the air and he's like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This
Stop
is
this.
the best. But I think we're done here.
Well, first he's like, "Oh, why'd you do that to Dom, Steve Austin?" Because
Yeah.
obviously that guy was trying to save her, and he's like, "Nah."
Nah.
And he's like, "Yeah, he knocked her out. Was trying to have his way with the young lady."
Yeah, and he's like, that's not your business, is it? And he's like, but Steve Austin, it's my business.
Yes.
The woods is my business.
I stop rapes.
Yep.
You understand this?
So he just shoots Crab in the head.
Well,
yeah.
he was already like walking on thin ice anyway. And
Oh,
then
yes.
Then he, it's not so much all the other altercation; it's that he hit Dom,
Right.
And he's like, "Well, you know what? You're dead.
Yeah.
Damn."
It was the second time
Well,
he fucked
actually,
up.
said, "I'm not going to kill you." He has what's
He
his
has
name?
Jensen kill him.
Jensen.
Yeah.
So he gets shot
Lawson?
in the head.
Jensen.
I don't know.
The
Lawson's
Jen-
the actual guy's name, right?
What's that?
No, Gary Daniels is the
Yeah,
guy's
it's
name.
Gary Daniels is his name.
I don't know.
Jensen is
Jensen.
his name in this, or The Expendables.
Which one is Lawson?
Is there a Lawson?
Is that the nerdy guy?
don't
Sure.
Who knows?
We have internet. We can look these things up.
Yeah.
Lawson is the
It's
guy.
Michael Hogan.
Lawson's the old guy who
Yeah.
took the bonds.
Oh, that's
ran,
right. Okay,
That,
all right.
that everyone's tracking down.
Right.
That's Lawson.
Yes.
But yeah. But so yeah, that dude gets headshotted, and they're all like, "All right, later, Crab.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
We were gonna slow us down with that ankle that was twisted around 3 or 4
Was
times."
no longer a functional ankle,
Yeah.
and there was no hope of fixing.
Yeah, and then eventually, again, the hacker and Jensen are just going at it and yelling at each other, and they get in a fight. To which Stone Cold is just like, "Hey, run!"
Yeah.
to the daughter, you can outrun a gun.
Yeah. And she's like, "No," and he's like,
He's like,
"Fucking
"No,
go,
for real,
get up, just go."
Serpentine motion.
Yeah.
unray, ow nay."
So she runs like, I don't know, 20 feet, and Gil Bellows, fires a shot towards her, stops her in her tracks, and he's just like, "Stop this shit.
Yeah,
Everyone fucking behave. You get back here."
Well, he basically says the words. He's like, "How many more people do I have to kill in front of you before you realize I am not fucking around?"
Yes.
it's really
And
good.
he basically goes for that calm demeanor to that.
Yeah.
Because
And
to be fair, they've seen him kill 2 people, the
Yeah.
sheriff
Yeah.
and his own guy.
yeah.
or at least instructed his henchmen to kill them. But either way,
Now, was it after they headshotted Crab that the daughter reveals that she's the daughter? She runs over to Steve Austin and is
I
like,
think-
"Daddy."
no, I think it's at that point after he does the "I'm not fucking around" thing
Okay.
when she's like,
She
"Dad."
figures he's
Yeah,
going to shoot
like
everybody.
She gets nervous about something. Like
It's right around this point that she just runs over and goes, "Daddy," and Gil Bellows is like, "Oh."
I thought it was after he tried to kill him at night, but whatever. It's
No, at that point
no,
they already
he knew then because
Yeah,
that's when he's fucking with Stone Cold. Which
Yeah.
that's a bad idea.
that is a bad idea, as we come to find out.
Now,
But yeah, so it's been revealed, and now Gil Bellows is like, "I see. You're not
Yeah.
just helping a nice young girl. That's your daughter. Well, Mr. Mountain Man."
guess what? I'm evil. I'm a bad guy.
but
Yeah.
they make camp for the night, and this is when he's just like, they just need to sleep, and I'm going to murder them. But like they do this whole long protracted thing. It's just like essentially it's another way for Gil Bellows to menace because like. He's basically like, your daughter's going to sleep in the tent thing, the pop-up, the lean-to with me, and I'm going to put my legs over her weirdly. Like, it's very strange. Like, she sits down sort of like beside him, and he's just like, I'm going to put both my legs over you. Ha-ha. And he's just like glaring at him, Like, it's all dumb. But essentially, like, time passes, it's sleep. It's night now. They're all sleeping, except for music stinger comes on, and Stone Cold's immediately awake.
He wakes up to the music sticker.
Yeah. And, he's just like, he's immediately like surveying the situation. Like, how do I kill all these people? Start with Gil Bellows when he's leaning all over my daughter, and he sees a knife. Like the hacker dude's like falling asleep and there's a knife at his feet. So he reaches over, gets the knife, and then she wakes up and sees him and is like, no, don't do this.
No.
And
yeah, she
he's
actually
like-
says it out loud. She goes,
yeah.
"Dad."
Well,
no."
eventually she's like, she's like, no. He's like,
Yeah.
He's no.
He's like, "Shut
If
up, I'm
she's
gonna
like,
murder
she's
him."
like, Dad, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when, Mountain Man, who's super keenly aware of his surroundings, gets snuck up on by
Jensen.
Giant British kickboxer dude.
Right.
But
He was
clocks
distracted
him.
by
Yeah.
his fatherly instinct to save his daughter by stabbing a man to death.
but yes, he gets clocked with a branch over the head.
Yeah. And Gilbella's like, what the? All right.
Yeah, I probably would have done that too.
Yeah. All right.
But he wakes up and it's like you're at first you're kind of like, well, you hear a punch off screen,
Yeah.
and he wakes up and you're like, oh, did they just leave him? And no, he's all tied up and like they're dragging the daughter back now. She's got like a bloody lip and she's like, are you happy now, Dad?
Oh, it's like, fuck
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it is the worst. It is the worst of brat kid bullshit.
Yeah. Like, this is his fault somehow. Just really, at this point, we're like, just kill the daughter and really motivate Stone Cold to murder everyone.
Yeah.
Put
Please.
her in a coffin, drag her around behind your motorcycle.
Right, yeah. Just
whatever.
drag her to his front door, just the worst motivation you could think of because she's terrible. But no.
I would have rather it was like Eric Roberts in peril, to be honest with you. Like this entire movie, just drop the daughter and they kidnapped Eric Roberts. How much better movie is this?
Yeah.
He still doesn't have to be in it very much.
No, they got to kidnap the daughter, and then Stone Cold and Eric Roberts have to team up.
No, dropping the daughter is the key piece here.
No, as long as we don't have to like tolerate the daughter being, like she is in this movie.
Well, sure.
If she's just like in peril,
Right.
In general, if she's not just being shitty to her dad.
Well, all right.
then-
There's two ways to do this. If you're a kidnapped victim in a movie, you're in peril, and you play I'm scared and I'm in peril, or you be tough and you fight back and you help the situation. That's your two ways to play it. Don't play I'm angry at the people trying to save me.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Like that's just the dumbest and most
Yeah.
annoying thing ever. Don't
The
look
audience will hate you.
don't look
immediately.
gift Austins in the mouth. So.
You can do it. I mean, you can be angry at the people that are trying to save you as
Sure.
long as you are not actively undermining the situation.
Well, no, angry at the people.
Which she does both.
Yeah.
That's her problem.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
agree with the angry. You be angry at the kidnappers, not the people trying to save you.
I mean, you can be angry at both. I
Yeah,
think.
but she seems to have a lot more hostility towards Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Who is the only one actively trying to help her.
It's like that. The problem I have is like she's Dad, I'm mad at you, so I'm not going to let you rescue me or do anything
Yeah.
good.
Well, she also starts.
Fuck off.
She also starts trying to bond with Dom, like because they're tied. They're literally tied to each other, like Dudley Do-Right style. That they're like like being led through the forest here.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Hey, what's it?" And she's like, Dom's like, "Shut up! I don't want to talk to you." But then eventually she warms up. She's like, "Look, just keep your head down and self-preservation. Just do what he says." Essentially. So they kind of start. You're like, that's another thing. It's like you're being more genial to the kidnappers than you are your own dad who's trying to save you. And that's what it just makes her feel terrible through all this. But
Yep.
anyway.
But eventually, the hacker has just been stumbling around in the forest. He's like, I can't walk in a forest.
I'm tired, my
It's-
feet hurt.
He falls down more times
Yeah.
in this movie.
And eventually he falls down on a body, and everyone's like, oh, what's that smell? And it's like, oh, Jesus, it's Walt.
yeah,
And he's dead.
Well, they found Lawson's camp.
Not
they,
friend of
they
the
found
podcast,
where he
Walt.
was.
Yeah.
And so they're like, and this is when Austin goes into like detective vision.
Oh, yeah, he totally gets orphan vision.
Flashback, it's like, oh, here's what happened here. Lawson was over here. He was smoking, and then something happened, and
Walt was his ticket to Canada,
Yeah.
and something went wrong.
that guy lied to me. And Gilbella's like, huh, your friend betrayed you, huh?
Yeah.
Well, now we have something in common.
Walt said he was fishing.
Yeah.
There's no fish here. We're not even on the water. That son of a bitch.
Yeah. So through his detective vision, Austin figures out that Lawson's also been shot and used Walt's belt to stop the bleeding, and then sat down to have a smoke, and
then slid down a
yeah, he's like, hey, he slid down here. He's
I
been,
love that one of them, like the hacker guy's like, how does he know all this? And Jensen's like, you fucking idiot. This is his job.
he's a mountain
Yeah,
man.
I think he
exactly
actually
what
goes.
he
He goes,
does.
it's fucking magic. And then he's just like, okay. Because like
Yeah.
it's a job,
Yeah.
dumbass.
Yeah. And so Gilbella's just like, Lawson, we're coming to get you. Ah.
and cut to Lawson, like leaning against a tree, smoking. He's like, nah, fuck.
Whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's that scene in Aliens where they're just like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Like just might as well fucking smoke and go out.
Yeah. So they get to him, and he's just sitting there, and they're like, where's the money, Lebowski? And he's like, well, I'm dead, so
I figured if I couldn't have it, neither can you.
yeah, haha.
And like that's all he says because basically Dom like grabs the gun from Gil Bellows and is just like bam bam in the chest. It's like, guess you didn't want to try to get any more information out of him.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah.
She shoots him in the chest and the head.
yeah. Oh, was there a headshot
Yeah.
too? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
Remember that
Like-
shoot first, ask questions later?
Yeah.
This is not the
does not
Not
pertain
the
to the
occasion
situation
to do that.
No.
No.
Like, shoot him in the leg and then go poke your finger in the bullet hole. I mean, he's already shot in the leg, so go poke your
Yeah,
finger in the
just
bullet hole.
poke your finger
and
in the
say
bullet
like,
hole.
tell me where the money is. Yeah.
Yeah. But Austin goes back into detective vision and is like, oh, it's down here. It fell. And he threw it.
no, he doesn't. She goes, well, we can look down the river, and that's the daughter goes.
Oh, right,
we
yeah,
can look
she
down
gives-
the river, and
yes.
he's like, stop helping them.
Yeah. And she's like, shut up, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not my
that's-
dad, except you are.
That's when it gets revealed. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like she's like, let's just go look for it. And they're all like, yeah. And then she finds it and she's like, there it is. And he's like, Jesus Christ, you're the worst.
Yeah, pretty much.
Making everything worse.
But it's
Yeah.
like down. It's on, along this river, this
It's
rocky rapid river,
way down there.
way down there. So he's like, I can do it, but we're gonna make a deal. You're gonna let my daughter go.
Well, the computer guy's like, I'm not going down there. I don't know how we're going to get this money. And Austin's like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, he'll do it.
yeah.
That'd be great. He's going to take care of it.
I got this watch.
Yeah. It's like, we'll tie my watch to a tree and I'll go get it. But
And of
you
course,
make
Gil-
me a deal.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll go get this bag. You let my daughter go. And Gil Bellows is like, how about you go get the bag and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. And then as he's like untying his watch and like hooking up to the tree, he's like, that's a pretty cool watch. I should get one like that. And he's like, no, you shouldn't. It's
Not
my
this one,
watch."
yeah.
Yeah. Not this one. I got it from Eric Roberts, star of The Ambulance. You ever seen that? James Earl Jones chews gum in it. It's great.
It's a motion picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. We were in Expendables also.
And Gil Bellows is like, yeah, I don't fucking care about that.
Yeah.
Mine now.
Yeah. and Steve Austin does tell him, like, as he starts climbing down, he's like, don't get too attached to it.
Yeah. Gil Bellows is like, whatever.
Yeah.
Bye. So yeah, Austin rappels down using his watch rope.
Yep.
Yes, his
Rope.
his 150 feet watch paracord thing that he has here.
Yep.
Because he's gone around the tree like 10 times, and then it's like it's a good 40 feet down this ravine at least.
My
Yeah.
buddy Magic Eric Roberts gave me this magic
Right.
magic
It's probably
rope.
more like
It's
40
as-
yards, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long ways down.
When you unroll it, it's as long as you need it to be.
It's whatever you need it to be. That's what it is.
Yeah. However it needs long it needs to be. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Because that's what he said.
No, it's only when you get down to the very...
when you get to the end,
get to
that's
the end,
the bottom
that's
line.
the bottom line.
Yeah,
Because Stone
But
Cold just repelled
I
down the
love how
mountain.
this whole repelling scene is treated because he's going down the mountain and they're all like, and the daughter's like, oh my God.
Well, he's also doing that like pause before he goes down. Like, I'm not real sure about this, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I've never
I mean,
really done this
it's
before.
kind of weird because there's no reason. Like the shot that they use, there's no reason for him to be on anything that's more than his height down.
Yeah.
Because all he needs to do is disappear off camera. But it seems pretty apparent he was going down something where he was actually scared to go down it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like he pauses, like, I don't know about this.
Well,
I'm kind of a big guy and I got a couple of bad knees.
Can't we shoot this from behind and use the stuntman?
Right.
I've lived a good life. Here I go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But eventually he gets down there, picks it up,
and they're all like, woohoo, money.
and he seems to hesitate for a minute at the bottom. And I was like, is this where he just like tries to take off with the money?
Well, he flashes back to Eric Roberts telling him, like,
Yeah.
you used to be a badass son of a bitch before that kid, and you were focused. And he was like, he starts to get that look like, yeah, focused. I could get focused.
Yeah, he has that moment, and then
Nothing
comes from it
No.
because
Yeah.
like he doesn't stash the money, he doesn't like disappear. Because I was expecting him to just be like, they look down, like, are you about done down there? And he's gone.
Yeah.
like just he's fucking Rambo'd out. Like,
Yeah, no, he just climbs back up and is
Yeah.
like, all right, I got the money. Let's make the deal. And Gilbell's is like, nah.
But I want to note, while he's climbing up, they're using footage from later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's got like when he's been beat up and he's
Yeah.
got face paint on.
Yeah, because he eventually puts like war paint eye black on.
It's like,
you
did
know.
they only want to do that once?
This movie has several instances of,
Right.
of footage out of time. It's just like they needed something to cover something.
Yeah.
But when it happens at first, you're like, whoa, what happened to him?
Yeah, we're like, did he fall
Yeah.
down? Did we miss that part?
Because then he gets back up and he's fine. You're like,
Yeah.
well, that's strange. But yeah, he gets up and is like, all right, I got the money. Now let her go. And he's like, no. Nah.
That's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
And then he shoots Austin.
Right. As the computer guy is cutting the rope.
Mm-hmm.
So
he ruined the watch.
yes, the watch is
Like
useless
they're-
now.
Well, the band.
Well, yeah,
watch
the most
part
important
works.
part of the watch.
No.
I don't know.
No,
That's not how watches work.
the time part is the.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
but so he
Austin
shot,
falls back down the cliff.
falls into the water. There's a shot of a sinking Austin with blood pouring
seeping
out of him.
Yeah.
You're like, well, they killed Austin. That's
Well, yeah, because
a bold strategy.
Gil Bellows has to have like his Joker speech too. Like, there's this reminds me of a thing Dad always said when he's hitting me. I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
Just ever dance with the devil.
Yes, yes, he has that moment.
Yeah.
Yes, he
And
does
then-
all of the Jokers in
Yeah,
one.
and the daughter's freaking out and is like, oh my God, you son of a bitch. I may have hated Austin, but I wanted to kill him. You killed him first. That's not cool. And so she's hitting him, and eventually he just shoves her back, and he just yells at the top of his lungs. He goes, I don't like your family.
Yep. Yeah, because she is
It's
basically
so
like,
good.
she's like, look, you can't kill me because I'm the only one. You're an
Yeah.
idiot. You killed my dad. He was the one who could get us out. Luckily, I know some of the shit he knows. So.
Well, yeah. Well, he's about to shoot her
Yeah.
after he says, I don't like your family. And she goes, ask yourself one question. Which way's north?
Yeah, right.
And he goes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you got a point.
That's an excellent question. I don't
All right.
know.
If I'm confused, I can check with the sun. I mean, I could carry a compass to help us along, but
It's such a good transition, though. He's like super like gun face, and then she asks the question, and he's just like, huh.
He's like, yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, get up. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. And like 2 minutes later, hacker guy is just like, I'm picking another fight. Because he's trying to pick a fight with her. He's like, I like your eyes. You got your dad's eyes. They're nice.
You
And
need to
she's like-
smile.
She's like, yeah.
And she's,
Hey, girl. Hey,
yeah,
girl.
yeah.
she goes like, "They're my
Hey.
mom's eyes," and
Yeah.
you fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I was just trying to." He actually, it's like kind of encouraging. Like, I was just trying to make small conversation.
Yeah,
here."
just trying to be nice to you.
He does do the street
Yeah,
cat
he-
collar thing. He's like, well, I was just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, geez. You didn't have to take it all personal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she spits in his face, and then he hits her, and then the dominatrix chick is like, hey, no, cut the shit out.
Right. Oh, yeah,
And
she
hit-
fucks him up.
Well, she hits him, and then he immediately yanks out his stun gun that he had been playing with earlier and zaps her in the neck, which...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like the first time they showed it, was it not a stun gun brass knuckles?
They were stun knucks.
Yeah.
Stun knucks. Stuckles.
the knucks.
Stuckles?
Stuckles.
Oh, I like going there for breakfast.
Old
You can get a
Stuckles.
pecan log at Stuckles.
Little
breakfast at
Stuckles.
Stuckles.
Little Stuckles.
Little Stuckles.
Yeah, but he didn't bring those along. He
Little
just got a
Stucks.
regular taser. But yeah, she whips out the asp.
Yeah, and
Cracks
goes
him in the-
right for the knee.
Yeah,
and
he's like,
he's not walking. Well, maybe ever,
No.
but not out of the woods.
And it's like Gil Bellows is like, Christ, guy, you're the worst. And now we're just. He's like, please don't kill me. And he's like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna fucking leave you here. And the guy's like,
Yeah, because... And she busted his leg up anyway.
Yeah.
And so they're leaving, and Jensen's like, man, you should just shot him. And he's like, nah, it's a waste of a bullet.
yeah.
It's like pretty soon the crows and everything, they'll clean him up, and there's going to be nothing left
Yeah.
but the smell of disappointment.
He's like, the bears and the birds are gonna take care of him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So Austin is
And
not
this
dead.
is, yeah, at this point, Austin has resurrected himself. 'cause
He's resting in
Steve
the-
Austin.
Yeah, the resurrection of Austin. He pops
That
up.
can't be.
He pops up out of the river. He was like, "Oh man, been shot. I got shot in the same place I got stabbed 4 years ago.
Pretty much.
This part of my body. Why do people hate it so?"
And he gets stabbed there again, too.
Yeah, yes, he
Late
does.
in the movie.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, there's just a hole there, and they're just
Yeah, they're just
sticking
like,
things in
just
and
aim
pulling
for
them
this
out of it. Yeah.
pre-existing injury.
Yeah. But so yeah, he gets out and he's he climbs back up the mountain in the footage that we missed from earlier.
But why is he climbing the mountain?
Yeah, he gets up and he's like, he just sort of collapses. He's going to have to deal with his wounds.
Yeah.
So he cauterizes
But
that
so
shit.
while that's happening, the group has stopped the people that are left, and they're like, all right, well, we need to just camp for the night.
But we're hungry.
Yeah, we're hungry. Where's the food? And of course, hacker guy had all the food.
Jensen's like, hacker guy has it. They're like, why the fuck did the hacker guy have it? He was the heaviest pack and we didn't like him. Fuck. And so they cut back to Hacker Guy,
And cut to Hacker Guy,
who is just plowing through a can of like beef stew, just I got food. He's yelling.
Yeah. And it's
just,
nighttime by now too. And,
Yeah.
and he's got a fire going, and he's just chowing down.
Oh, he's made a leg splint. He's like,
Oh yeah, he's doing
like,
all right.
and he's ranting to himself. He's just like,
Well,
yeah,
he's also like cocooned himself in a sleeping bag to like a hilarious level because like only his face is hanging.
Oh yeah, he's like completely just like trauma victim, just like
yeah. But he's just ranting and raving to himself. He's like, those fuckers, they beat me up and then leave me here like a bunch of dickheads. And he just goes, I hope you all choke on cocks. And he's just yelling this into the forest for nobody in particular to hear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Meanwhile,
yes.
Austin has realized that somebody has a pack up in the
they've established
trees.
it from the opening credits that the keep your pack up away from bears and shit because he was doing it in the opening scene. They saw one. He's like, I don't know, there's probably nothing on there, and I assume he found the same one. It's just like he looks up and is like, oh, a pack in the tree.
Sweet. Let's crack that open.
And lucky him.
Yeah.
It has a bunch of cool shit in it.
It's Deus Ex Machina because it's basically everything he needs to murder
Very nice.
everybody.
Yeah, it's got a crossbow in it, and then he goes to work making crossbow bolts.
Yeah.
Yes, right away. He starts predatoring up.
Oh yeah.
Like this is, I mean, the last third of this is Predator. It is,
But he finds like I suppose it's like a Native American tool. I mean, he found like part of an arrowhead that that's sharp. It's like a piece of flint or whatever that's already sharp, and that's what he's using to like cut all these things. He doesn't have a knife or anything, but he finds a crossbow. He's making bolts, and then he's like chopping spears, and like by the end of the movie, he's like running around with this pack of like I don't know 6 spears, and I'm like, that would have taken you weeks.
I know.
With this dull ass ancient
Flint is
knife
really
thing.
sharp.
It seemed
Maybe.
like the way they were
Really
filming it seemed like days and days and
Right.
days were going
like
by.
you expected the card to come up on the screen and be like, same forest, 5 days later.
Yeah. Or just a narrator to come up out of nowhere and just be like, as the days and nights went on, Austin continued to craft weapons. It's like, this is taking forever, but no, he just does it in the matter of a couple of hours.
Oh yeah.
After being
'Cause
shot.
he's Austin. Yeah, he's making bespoke crossbow bolts and
Artisanal.
yeah. It is the Pacific Northwest. So
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it
it's
is.
the right area for it.
Is it? It's Montana. That's kind of like
it
right
looks
center, right?
Pacific-
Close enough.
Looks like
All
the
right.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's Canada.
It's west of the
It's all
Mississippi.
Canada.
Oh,
so,
fine.
yeah. So,
Yeah, and this is when he realizes that Hacker Dude isn't that far away.
yeah.
He's tracked him down. And
Yes, he's right there.
yeah, and Hacker Dude wakes up in the middle of the night. And
Well, doesn't he hear like the
he hears a crack.
Yeah, like the twig snap. He's like, oh, what? Oh, I guess I also have to piss.
Right. Because he drank all that water.
Right.
Yep.
And didn't eat more beef stew or whatever.
Yep.
So there's this, as he's doing that, there's a shot of Austin, not very sneakily, but just running through the woods, and you're like, oh, look. But he doesn't see him. And then at one point, he does turn around, and you see him
There's a
scanning the woods.
There's a camera
they
pan.
pan across the screen, and you see Austin like standing right against the tree,
Just standing there like
framed by the tree.
like a fucking badass, just like, "Rrr."
But he's got the eye black on his face, and everything, and like and he's kind of wearing camo because he has been the entire time, but. He's very clearly Steve Austin with a crossbow standing in front of a tree.
Yes.
So this guy's pissing is just like, there's some trees. Steve Austin with a crossbow, trees. Wait.
Yeah, they do that. They do the snap pan back. They're
Yep.
like, wait, what?
Yep.
But he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's a ghost.
And so, but he'll see the bald head like going between trees. Like, wait, who are you? I know you're out there.
Yep.
So he starts doing
And he
the
fires
wildly,
off all his bullets.
the wildly blind fire into
Yeah.
the woods thing.
Yeah. And then Austin fires a bolt into his already injured leg.
Yeah, and he stumbles around, and
So he's done that. The guy's kind of crawling through the woods like, no, guy, look,
yeah, and then he shoots him in both shoulders.
Yes. And that's when Austin is pretty much right on top of him. And he's like, how you doing?
Yeah, it's so good. It's like that is like the moment where the movie turns into what we were hoping the movie would be.
Yeah.
Because you've got Austin, and the whole time he's been kind of reserved around these guys because he's like, I can't let that little bitch get killed, so I don't know,
Right.
whatever.
But
And-
now that he's like presumed dead,
Yeah.
he's like, man, I'm going to fucking
yeah,
murder
but he's
everybody.
like, how you doing? And the guy's like, why are you doing this to me? And he goes, I had to put a pin in your enthusiasm. Which is what that dude, like, with the hacker dude, of course, when Austin was tied up, he'd been taunting him earlier and, been like, are you going to answer him?
Yeah.
You You gonna tell Gil Bellows he's the best?
Yep.
And, because he does the typical, oh, the badass is tied up, so I can taunt him now. And But yeah, so he says that to him, and he's like, where they going? Time to talk.
Yeah.
Hacker boy.
Yeah, and, doesn't really get that much information, and then he's just like, well, whatever, and then shoots him right in the chest.
Well, no, he goes, they left me behind. I was going to catch up. And he goes, huh, all right, well, catch. And shoots him in the heart with the crossbow.
Yeah. And just sneers at him.
Yep. And then we're like, yes.
Yeah, we're like, oh, man, the movie we want is here. Yes.
Yep. And next scene is them walking around the woods, and she sees this, arrow made of rocks on the ground, the daughter does.
Yep.
And starts...
Stones. Thank you very much.
Oh, there we go. Stones. But yeah, she kicks them aside, but she gets kind of this look on her face, and they're panning around the forest, and they kind of hold everyone walks off the frame, and they kind of hold it on this giant stump thing, and of course Austin rises up out of the bushes on top of it.
Yep.
And as it was about to happen, I was like, watch Austin come out, emerge from the forest right then.
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Yes.
What other movie was it where there was arrows with rocks that were leading somebody somewhere? It's like a thing where somebody was acting like they were a tracker and someone else was just coming in and showing.
I don't remember.
Rings like such a bell. Anyway,
yeah,
I just realized we've been missing a chance to call his daughter Pebbles.
Oh my god! Well, there we go.
Yeah.
There's her name for the rest of the movie. But I love the implication is that Austin got ahead of them. Keep in mind the guy has multiple gunshot wounds.
Yeah.
He got shot twice. The only one they show is in his side where he got stabbed.
He also fell down a mountain essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But
he's Austin.
He got in front of them to leave a clue, and then back behind them again.
Yes. So he could emerge in a cool way.
Yes.
But that's when Jensen has to stop and smoke a cigarette, and they're like, "Come on, catch up, Jensen." He's like, "Yeah, whatever, I'll work on it."
Right. Is this when Austin pops out of a
Yes, Austin has had time to build a ditch and then build a door with what looks like a hinge for the top of it, along with branches and leaves and all that to cover it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Stone Cold Steve Austin Speed Woodscrafting. I'm going to teach you how to build a duck blind in 14 seconds.
So not only has he had time to track these people down and get ahead of them, he's had time to build himself a shelter to pop out of.
Yes. And then
to which he shoots one of his bespoke crossbow bolts into the guy's pack.
Yeah. Then the guy's like, oh wait, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then turns around and is like, oh, it's you. I knew you weren't dead. Yeah. Let's go. Mm-hmm. So they just start stripping off all of their packs and everything. It's just fist fight time.
Yeah.
And so they do. Mm-hmm. They punch and kick.
And it's a decent fight. It's filmed okay.
It's not bad.
But for being in 2010, luckily it's not all weird shutter speed bullshit I was kind of expecting it to be.
It's not bad. It's a little gimmicky and dumb at times. There's the thing where he bounces off the tree and does
there's some clear wire work going on.
Yeah. But Austin is not 100% undefeatable guy in this movie.
Oh no,
he is getting his ass
kicked by this guy.
He is not doing well. And then just finally just gets him down.
Well, they both they both end up picking up sticks and fighting with each other.
Because then it's I've got nunchuck sticks, but not, and you've got a big stick, and now let's do all that fighting.
Yeah, and he kind of sucks at that too. Mm-hmm. And eventually, there's a point where Jensen's just like, "What I'm going to do to you is going to last an eternity."
It's a pretty good taunt.
Yeah,
yeah. And then they're fighting some more, and eventually Austin basically breaks the stick in half, jabs one into his into the inside of his thigh, and then jabs the other one directly through his heart. And comes out his back.
Yep.
And he goes, "Sorry, I can't stick around."
And Jensen just falls to the ground. Dead.
Thump.
Yep.
And keep in mind, this is 10 seconds after Gil Bellows and Pebbles and Dom have left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they don't hear any
they don't hear any of this.
Because they're like, I wonder where Jensen is.
Yeah. They don't hear him, doing the, just the slamming against the trees and the rocks and groaning and stabbing and
none of it.
Sticks clashing, all that shit.
But the best part Austin has then gotten in front of them again
Oh yeah,
because he pops back up on another rock.
yeah, because they've found a path.
Yeah.
They're like almost out of the forest.
They're like, okay,
clearly.
we got this. We just follow this path. Austin pops back up. Now he's got these spears that he's crafted, and he's like, "Hey, Gil Bellows."
Yeah,
And they're like, what?
He goes, "Hey, bang!"
And he just throws this spear.
What does he say? Doesn't he have a quip right there?
No,
he's
he
just
just
like-
says, "Hey, Banks."
Hey, Banks.
Hey, Banks.
He says the guy.
And I assume he was aiming for him.
Oh, sure.
But she's just kind of standing there.
He
because
hits Dom,
He
and
hits-
it just it was like that scene in Game of Thrones where the giants shoot the crossbow and it hits that one dude and he just goes flying.
Yep.
That's like what she does.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
she gets totally washed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just boom, and she is impaled on the ground.
Yeah.
And Gil Bellows is like, "What? No, what? Why is this happening? What the?"
Yeah.
He doesn't quite know how to
And
handle
Austin
it
kinda
as she's
didn't-
like sliding down the spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
yeah. He's like, "Why are you? What?" Ah.
I love that as this is happening, like Pebbles is trying to untie herself from her.
Yes.
Well, Gil Bellows is like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, she's immediately like, "I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not sticking around
Yeah,
either."
because when I was first watching it, I was like, "Bitch, run away!" But then, of course, I realized, oh yeah, she has to untie herself from her.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah. So it just
so of course he's got her as a hostage, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Austin, where
Yeah.
are you? I see you. You're running along the rocks." Because like Austin clearly didn't have a plan past I'm going to spear one of them.
no, because is it at this point that he falls down a mountain again?
Oh, because
Yeah.
Gil Bellows starts shooting at him.
Right.
And he's like, oh, run away, run away.
Yeah.
Run away, run away, run away.
And then he just starts sliding down a mountain, just a lot.
Yeah,
And then he lands on a perch, and then he's all right. But Gil Bellows and Pebbles are like, we're going to Canada. Let's go. So it takes Austin a while to climb back up. But now he's way behind them. So Gil Bellows, they reach basically Canada. It's a Canadian
Yeah.
outpost of some kind.
Oh, they have outposts all along the border, which
Yeah.
four-wheelers and or snowmobiles.
Yeah, so there's a couple dudes on four wheelers like, hey, we're Canadian, and
Doors are unlocked, eh?
Yeah.
Go on in.
Hey,
Make
come on
yourself
in.
at home.
and Gil Bellows is like, nah, blam blam blam, just like smoke them baconers or something. He says
Smoke them
something.
pigs.
Yeah, haha. And so he's like, I'm gonna get on this four wheeler. Time for me to leave. I've done all I need to do here. And she's like, well, I can go, right? You don't need me anymore. Let's end this.
And he just clocks her with a pistol.
He's like, yeah, whatever. Bang. Knocks her out. He's like, haha. Drives off on a four wheeler.
ATV's off.
Yep. Then a little while later, Austin runs up
Well, a little while later.
and, wakes the daughter up. Oh, you're fine.
Hey, Pebbles. All right.
She's
Yep.
And he's like,
Just great.
get on a four wheeler, go get help. Drive until you find help.
Don't go in the station and try and use the radio or phone that might be in here.
Nope. Go get help.
Yeah.
Go.
Yep.
So Austin's like,
Yeah.
stunt
And
rides his
at this
ATV
point,
out of there.
she's like, okay, I guess I like you because everyone else is gone.
Right. I
And
can't
you-
bond with anyone else.
And you kind of terrify me now because you fucking murdered the shit out of those people.
Because you died.
Yeah.
And now you're
You
ghost murdering
died,
everyone.
you came back, and you are murdering everything in sight.
So I would like to
I'm-
not be murdered.
I'm sorry I yelled at you earlier.
You're an undead wrestler with a spear. And I don't mean like Goldberg style. I mean a fucking spear.
Yeah. I'm starting to like that lady, and you speared her.
I almost made a friend.
She's broken in half. My God. She was almost family. I thought I made a new mom who's 2 years older than me in actual real life.
But yeah, so he chases down Gil Bellows because being Austin, he catches up with him on an ATV like instantly.
Yeah, well, Gil Bellows does the dumb thing of stopping and getting off the
Yeah,
ATV.
to look at a town that's down the
He's
hill.
like, aha, I've made it. And then all of a sudden, oh no, here comes Austin on an ATV.
He hears the ATV.
Yeah.
So that's Stone Cold's ATV.
And gets the drop on him because he gets a big stick and just cracks him across the chest,
Yep.
knocking him off the ATV.
But that don't bother Austin none because
No.
Austin's dead.
Yeah.
So it's a foot chase down into this abandoned factory. That's what this area is.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet abandoned factory. Like,
Yeah.
they just stumbled across it. We're like, oh man, we could film a
It
movie in here.
is, it is a really nice location to film in.
Yeah. So they chase each other through here. And
like Austin eventually tackles him, and they roll down this long, long set of stairs.
All of a sudden there's just a massive staircase that they all fall down. And then this just starts the process of
like axe versus shovel fight.
Yeah, they do that for a while, and then he clocks Gil Bellows both in the crotch and the face.
Yeah, well, Gil Bellows stabs him with a piece of rebar in the same injury.
Yes, which is it's obvious because he pulls it out so fast. It's like it didn't even hang out in there more than a second. It was like stab, yoink.
Yeah, but eventually he just goes, "Is that all you got?" And Austin's like, "Nope." Hits him in the face. Hits him in the face with a shovel and just knocks him out.
Yeah,
and then wastes his time.
I thought there was going to be another callback here.
There should have been.
Because like earlier when Gil Bellows was like first like talking to him, he was yelling at him about how things are going to go down. He's like, "Can you dig that?"
Yeah.
And he's literally said those words, and I thought he was going to get cracked in the face with a shuttle. It's like, how can you dig that?
Yes, I was waiting for that, and why that didn't happen, that's disappointing. But yeah, so he cracks it with the shovel, and Gil Bellows is down, and so he just goes over and, is all just pensive, leaning over a railing, like, oh, well, that was a day, And then Gil Bellows is like, ha-ha, just tackles him from behind. And they go over the railing down onto a bunch of pallets.
And of course, Austin's able to turn this around and land on him.
Yes. So again, Austin's like,
all right.
He walks away and basically just says, fuck you.
Well, he walks back. He takes the watch back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then goes, fuck you.
Right.
And the flare
leaves.
gun.
Yeah, he does take he has the flare gun too. And he just walks out of this factory.
And I was just
Sawmill.
This better not... if that's it, you guys fucked up.
Yeah, yes.
And I think they knew, hey, boy, that wasn't enough. We fucked up.
Yeah. Well, it seemed to me like, okay, he had the flare gun, so it was like, he's on this giant stack of pallets.
Oh, yeah.
Just light that thing up. Just Viking funeral this guy. But he doesn't. He just walks away, and then the ATV rolls up with his daughter on it, and she's like, I couldn't leave you alone. And he's like, fuck, why can't you do anything? But he's like, all right, whatever. I love you because you're my daughter, I guess.
Well, she says something like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm like, yeah, but then it sits there and gets pretty rotten.
But then Gil Bellows is just stalking out of this tunnel exit.
Yeah, and he's like, Lawman, Mountain Man, you can't kill me.
Kill me. And Austin's like, honey, stand back.
Yeah, he's like, you may want to back up for this.
Go over there. She's like, why? What? What's happening?
You're gonna.
This shit's about to get real.
You're gonna want a better view because I'm about to do something really fucking cool.
So he gets on the ATV.
He hops on the ATV, revs it, and he goes, when I hunt to kill. And wheelies the ATV. Mm-hmm. And Gil Bellows just kind of stands there for a second going, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
He's gonna fucking do this.
Yep.
And yeah, he gets smashed into the wall. It's pinned to the wall by the ATV, which is still wheelied up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, ha ha, Mountain Man, you can't kill me. Still alive.
And Austin's like, oh yeah, I have a flare gun.
Yeah.
Hang on.
A Ric Flair gun.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So he turns around and just fires that thing right into it. And Gil Bellows is like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah. They blow this thing the hell up.
Yep.
It's a huge explosion that comes out of this cave entrance, whatever it is.
It's a mining tunnel. I mean, it's just like one of those mining tunnels that has the corrugated things, tunnel on the front part.
But yeah, they loaded that thing up with explosives because it comes out big time.
Mm-hmm. And then him and the daughter are like, well, I guess we're walking home. Let's talk about our relationship. And she's like, oh, let's go.
Oh, can I have a car?
Yeah.
Like, I know you just saved me and all, but can I have a car?
Yeah, give me a car, Dad.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I just murdered like 5 people.
I'll give you a car. I'll give you a car, but you have to stand in the front of the house while I deliver it.
I hate to tell you this, but that few $1 million in bonds, that was still on the ATV.
No, he grabbed that. They walked away with it.
No, I know, but
he should have.
That's why you can't get a car.
This pack, no, nothing in this.
Yeah,
some medicinal supplies. That's all that's in here.
It's a bomb. There's a phone.
But yeah, they just walk away, and then credits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I will say, I appreciate any movie where I can put in the final note of the movie, and he put an ATV through a man, then lit him on fire with a flare.
I'm probably going to go on record and say that's a line you're not going to type again, but I hope. I hope someday.
AT
Never know.
Vengeance, you never know.
All-terrain
All-terrain
vengeance.
vengeance. When we write our movie, All-Terrain Vengeance,
Yes.
then that will be in the script.
Sure.
Yes. The possessed four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Haunted by the
Ooh,
devil.
let's see. What if you can write air? What if you can write land, sea, and then someone can do space, and that'll be all the terrains, and we'll each take a part of the ATV murder movie.
Okay.
I like it.
Space.
All right, fine, you can call space. I don't care.
Space.
I want water because
Space.
I want a guy to be able to command sharks with his mind.
All right.
That's all. I'll take water.
Okay, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. No Stargrove whatsoever.
Nah.
Soundtrack is
Yeah.
exactly the kind of thing you'd expect in a direct-to-video
Barely there.
movie from 2010.
You know.
Not terrible, but oddly inappropriate at times. There's
Yeah.
like sad oboe in places, and you're like, what?
yeah.
Why is that here? It's not a detective story where someone's
we
investigating.
call that oh no.
Oh, I get it. Oh, oboe.
Right.
Yeah, none of the awards, just ratings.
Yep.
Well, there was almost an instant award, but no, we didn't get there.
Yeah, but-
like
Nah,
hacker
not
guy was like threatening to do it, but he was more fun than really panicky.
Yes.
Anyway, I went last time. Someone else go.
Yeah. 3 jocks.
Okay.
It was sitting solidly at 1 jocks for a very long time early on. It was kind of fun with Gil Bellows, like every once in a while doing the "I'm not fucking around" and "I hate your family," but it was once Austin was unleashed to just murder the fuck out of people. That's when I was like, okay, this is what we want. This is what we want, and it gets a couple more jocks because of the third act, last 30-minute craziness. But it's kind of a bit slow early on, and man, they fuck up with the daughter. They just make her like so. When you don't want the person when the hero wants someone to live and you don't want them to live, they've screwed up somewhere along the way,
Right.
and that's the big fault of all that. But it's still a lot of fun. I'd say 3 jocks worth. It's kind of like Wheels of Terror. You know, it's like you're waiting. Once you hit that last 30 minutes, you're like, all right, yes. This is what I was hoping for. It's that same type of thing.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 2 jocks. And that's coming from a place where I was sitting at basically a 0 for most of it because it was like a non-reactive movie. Like there was nothing. The pacing in it is so bad and just kind of basic that you're like, there's nothing is. Things are happening, but it doesn't seem like anything is happening. The pacing is really, really off and weird. And then when things do happen, they happen so suddenly. It's like it doesn't even make sense logically how this has escalated to this point. The last third of this movie is exactly what we want, but the first 2/3 of it's not. It doesn't set these guys up to be like, oh man, I can't wait for Steve Austin to kill them. It sets them up as, man, they're annoying. I hope they die. It doesn't give you that kind of bloodlust of, man, fucking murder these assholes. It's just like, yeah, he's gonna kill these guys. Hopefully, he says something cool while he does it.
And he does.
Yeah, he does. That was I was thankful that they did that because like I know last week when that movie ended and he just says game over, it was just like, man, that's weak.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 jocks. I really, really, really like the last third of this movie, but getting to it is a slog. It's you feel bad because Austin's just kind of standing there. He's never really saying much, and it's just everyone just being annoying, not really menacing, just annoying. So
Yep.
I do. Sorry, I did want to say that I appreciated that it wasn't filmed badly. Like the credits give you an idea that, oh man, this is filmed, but this is made by idiots. And there's a couple moments of pointless slow motion and pointless like we need to speed up this little 10-second bit of the scene for some dumb reason. But it wasn't shaky cam. It didn't look like a handheld camera. It didn't look like 8mm. I mean, it was it looked nice, and that helped it a lot. So someone understood lighting and camera placement.
Yep.
I
Except for
appreciate
that forest bit. Like when he's stalking through the forest at night.
Oh, and
But it's like there's a bunch of white light coming down from above.
Yeah.
Like they've got, miles of fluorescent lights around him.
And there was strangely like a forest fire
there's
off
a
in the
sun,
distance.
like,
Yes.
There's just the sun coming from right next to his face.
Yeah.
It's awfully close to 1 jocks for me, but I'll go ahead and give it a 2 for, for punniness. Punniness and Steve Austin callback jokes. But yeah, that first half really felt like it was going nowhere. I was expecting it to be in Bags territory if it didn't have a pretty okay payoff. Because it was really after a couple scenes of action, it just was giving nothing, absolutely nothing. And I was like, well, this is going to be fun for the next 80 minutes. Wow. All right.
I just thought it didn't establish Austin as a badass at any point. Like, even the opening scene, which is when you're supposed to establish him being a badass, he was just like, I don't want to do this. It had to be talked into it by Eric Roberts. There was no reason for him to have this murder inside him. There was no past, like, what did he do that, made him just a murder machine.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the movie was written for him, and you're just like, yeah, he's going to murder them because he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. So,
I think I liked the lower key moments of this movie more than the rest of you.
Obviously, because we didn't like them.
Okay. Yeah.
All
right. So I mean, I was more on board with this movie, I think, right from the get-go for whatever reason. I don't know if Stone Cold just has a likability to me, or something was driving me through this movie. Like, I found the bad guys likable, I found him likable. Everything was driving the movie enough for me. I hated the daughter immediately, but it's kind of forgivable with your victim to be kind of wishy-washy, unlikable, whatever. It doesn't necessarily matter to me. So all that being said, I like the second it kicked into, like, all right, it's time to murder. It's murder time. I was like, this is now a Three Jocks movie. Let's see what happens. And I was like, kind of waiting for that thing that was like, man, I was enjoying this. Now I'm really enjoying this. Let's see if it gets that extra push anywhere towards the end. I'm going to say it really kind of doesn't. I mean, it doesn't flatline, but I mean, it hits that pinnacle of, like, it's time for Austin to murder people, and it just kind of it stays solid from there. I mean, that sounds strange to say. There's a four-wheeler, I don't know, impalement / flare gun thing happening, and it'd be kind of sterile. But I mean, they're all kind of spectacular. I think all the kills that he does are all kind of equally awesome in their own ways. I mean, the fist fight is probably the least of, just because it's like, well, yeah, two dudes fighting. Yeah, he has a cool one-liner at the end, but it's like, when he crossbows the one dude and says all the crazy shit he says to him, it's like that was your, like, punny, sticking dude guy. Like, the other one was just seeming like, all right, yeah, we just did this again. But then, like, fucking impaling the girl, and then exploding ATV the last guy. I mean, it's all very good. It's kind of like a solid line from the end. So I'm going to stick with the 3 Jocks or 316 Jocks. I don't know, but I'm going to give it 3 Jocks, because I think I enjoyed the whole ride. I was just kind of expecting maybe a little bit more of a wave. Like, I think it could have had some downtimes and some pickups a little more along the way, but I just overall enjoyed the whole thing.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And Eric Roberts is gone way too quickly.
Yes.
That's, like, as
Gone,
we said,
but not forgotten.
Yeah.
The whole Expendables reunion just blown.
Right. Literally.
Yep.
But yeah, like we were saying when it happened, we were like, this is how Eric Roberts makes 700 movies.
Yeah, he shows
Just because
up
he's only in them for 10
one
minutes.
day of filming.
Right, exactly. You can do that when each day is one movie, and then you move on to the next one. So,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, well, let's take a break, shall we?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'm glad this was not an Eric Roberts theme month kind of thing. Then we would have been really pissed off.
Well, yeah, because the way it's billed, you're like, oh man, Eric Roberts is in
Let me
this.
just go ahead and say we're probably never going to do that. Chuck.
Yeah.
We could do a theme year.
I don't want to. My point is, like,
I'm just saying we could.
No, in a lot of these movies, he's barely.
I know.
That's why
Yeah, like in the mid 2000s,
Yeah.
he
Eric
was
Roberts
in
shows up for a day or
a
I know.
billion things,
Basically,
and
like,
they were all direct-to-video garbage.
yeah, it's basically like Batman was like the end of him, like, being on set for more than a day.
Yeah.
Like, he did that, and it was just like, you know what? I don't have to do this. I can appear in all these movies for a day. Boy, someone should do a podcast about Eric Roberts movies.
I think somebody did.
Oh.
Yep.
There was a podcast about Eric Roberts movies.
Yeah, Eric Roberts is the fucking man, is the name of it.
Was it any good?
It's ongoing.
They cover 2 Eric Roberts movies per episode.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
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 So
They'll be done roughly in the year 2048, I'm guessing.
Eric Roberts has 413 acting credits.
So they'll be going on.
That's like Frank Welker-esque. That's
Yeah.
but he's actually acting,
But he's
not
in
just
them.
sitting in a.
It's not him in a
voice
booth.
with the bubbles and the baton thing.
What's that?
I like Frank Welker with
Yeah.
the bubbles and the baton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Frank Welker.
That no. Yeah, you're right.
I've been scrolling for a minute and a half, and it's still it's still 2015 movies.
It's
Fucking hell! I'm amazed by this every year. I do this every year. I look at his IMDb page, and I'm like, wow.
yeah. The other thing I can't get over
Yeah.
is there's a dude who writes for, I can't even remember which site it is now. I want to say it's Film School Rejects, that just watches commentary tracks and gives recaps of them.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Is it like 23 things we learned from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know.
And why didn't I think of that?
It's a pretty good idea.
But then again, I'd hate myself. I'd be like, all I do is watch a commentary track and go, at this point, David Fincher said that they did this. You know, it's like, who cares? Who fucking cares?
There was a point where I'd convinced myself, I was like, I've got these DVDs. I need to watch the commentaries on them. I need to like dedicate myself to doing that because I believe in them. And then you get like 3 movies into doing that, and you're like, these are terrible. None of them are what you want. Like, you always have the one that you know, like The Thing. You watch the commentary on The Thing, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
commentaries rule.
Oh, and like the one for the Limey
Yeah.
is so good because
Yeah.
Lem Dobbs is like arguing with Steven Soderbergh, and he calls it, like, he says one of the reviews, like, I think it's Variety, and he's like, that motherfucker from Variety giving us a shit review.
Yep.
Didn't get it. What a fucking piece of garbage.
But then these things, they started doing them as promotional material and not reflective of how society reacted to the movie. Like, they would film the commentary before the film had premiered.
Yeah, that's why commentary tracks have died.
Yeah. Because I remember...
Because they were never reflective of anything.
No.
They were just like, man, check out how great this movie's going to be. You know, because when you've got some like Lost in Space and everyone on it's like, oh man, we really, you had such a, you know, and it's all like just total dick sucking throughout where it's like, you had such a vision. It was, I'm just amazed. And the CG was so good. I don't know how they pulled all this off. And it's like, fuck you guys.
I can tell you the 2 most insufferable commentary tracks are for Little Nicky, because they filmed it.
Oh my God.
They recorded that before the movie came out, so they were all super stoked on it, and it was just, they just figured the Adam Sandler train was just going to keep on rolling. No one knew that movie was going to make $12.
Yeah.
And then the commentary for Dude, Where's My Car? Holy shit. That is the most dick-sucking commentary I've ever heard. It is just Sean William Scott and Ashton Kutcher the whole time, just back and forth, like, and then this happened. It was the funniest thing ever. And then this happened, and it was the funniest thing ever. It just keeps doing that, and it's just like, holy God, guys.
Yeah, the only thing worse are the commentaries where they just narrate the action.
Yep.
I cannot stand those because it's like, I'm watching the movie. You don't need to tell me. And Arnold's
Conan.
are like that because they're funny.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh.
Here I am with the armor. I got the armor now.
Here's the part where I pick up a tree.
What do you call the thing that the chainmail, yeah. Yes. Those are fun because he's narrating, but he doesn't understand what he's narrating. What do you call the thing I'm doing here with the thing? You're fighting a guy with a sword, Arnold. Yeah.
Sword fighting.
I almost killed him. I did not mean to.
But there are so many commentaries where it's just that.
Yep.
And it's so dull. And the worst is when it's like a movie you actually wanted to hear something about and the director just has nothing to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you have nothing to say about this movie that you spent months making? You know?
Well, what is it? One of the film things. It's so hard for me to find film things that don't delve into like celebrity bullshit, you know, like that actually cover film and interesting things about film. But I was reading somewhere, one of the sites was talking about commentary on, I guess it just came out on Blu-ray, Mighty Wind. And apparently they brought like a good chunk of the cast in to do this commentary, and it's just like full of interesting facts and shit. And I was like, that's the kind of thing I want to see.
Yeah, sometimes those work. Like the Kevin Smith early ones, like Mallrats and those, where they just all got in a room and were basically riffing on the movie as they're watching it. Those ones kind of work. But there's so many where they get like one person too many in the room.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to think about who this is. These are all comedy veterans that are probably 50 plus years
those
old.
are
They're going to be
work.
good.
Yeah.
They're also stage people, so they know how not to talk over each other, I'm sure.
But yeah, the best commentary, if you can ever get commentaries that have like the film editor on them, those are the people that know goddamn everything about the movie. Everything. Because they're the ones who have seen literally all the footage. Hey, BMFcast Jr.
I'm sorry. You're actually allergic to cats in your
That's fine. Just rub it all over my face.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
make contact.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
all right. I'm not worried.
BJ and I were talking about that earlier. She's gotten like, she feels huge.
Yeah.
Like she could fit in my hand before, but now you need like an arm to pick that cat up.
She's all mellow and shit.
Yeah. Well,
Mellower.
yeah.
She used to be a fucking terror.
Oh, God, yeah. So what happens when you get them fixed, man? They're like, whew. All right, I'm good.
Yeah. But okay, so like I'm always a fan of John Carpenter commentaries because he's always really good. But like in The Mouth of Madness, he brought in like the lighting guy, and the whole film was just like, how did you light this? And it's just like, oh my God, this is the most boring thing ever.
Really?
Every scene was just basically like, well, clearly this is happening in this scene. So hey, Frank, how would you light this scene? Oh, I would get a soft luminescent button and we would shoot it with the high octane. The lenses were
very directional.
High octane lights.
Get some very
like-
directional power lighting going on here with a couple of
It's
gels
just
on
like,
it.
Christ, guys, this is who cares? So
Yeah.
We'd normally like to stay with the 3-point lighting plan, but this time we wanted it very directional.
Yeah.
So
and then like the later Carpenter commentaries, like Vampires, where he just didn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
He's not saying anything.
Really?
Like the track is just like, well, then we went to this location, and then it's like 10 minutes of silence. You're like, oh man, he just doesn't care.
yeah.
Until Ghost of Mars anyway.
Now he cares again? Yeah.
Magnum opus.
Yeah, they're the old... Some of the older releases, like Casablanca, I believe, had a Roger Ebert track on it that was good, and a lot of the old Universal horror, the Universal monsters,
Yeah.
they had like film historians talking about a lot of them, and that stuff's fantastic.
Yeah. The problem is if there's too much time between when the movie came out and then you get someone involved for the commentary to be on it,
Yeah.
they don't remember anything, and you've got to get a moderator in there who knows their shit to keep the thing along. Because I remember like when Star Trek the Motion Picture came out, when they did that like remastered, they like finished the special effects and stuff like that. So they had like,
Who'd they bring in?
Robert Wise.
Yeah.
Who was like 95 and had filmed that movie 25 years ago and didn't remember shit.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, that's William Shatner. He was a nice man. It's like, okay, this isn't the
don't
Trek
care.
knowledge I need here, guy.
Yeah.
So
He was once a wise man.
commentary.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the second half. Talk about movies.
Yeah.
Who's got movies?
So
We
FX.
already discussed this.
yeah, you guys have
we
movies.
have shared movie.
Yes, we have shared movie.
I have some others.
Okay.
Okay, and then we got voicemails galore.
Oh, while we're bullshitting things that don't make it into the actual episode, I'll just mention that I rewatched the IT Crowd. It's the entirety is on Hulu, and if you've never seen it, you should. That's all. Public service. It's short. I mean, it's 4 seasons plus a 5th reunion show. 3 years later, there was kind of like the Office Christmas special. Like, hey, let's do one more, and it'll be a little bit longer. But it's a very weird the bridge between the first season or series, if you will, to the second. Just like it's a very, very different tonal shift, and I'm sure there would be equal number of people that would argue one way or the other. But my God, it gets so much funnier in the second season or series. I don't keep saying that. I mean, like the first season is good, but like Matt Berry is funnier than the guy from the first season. So, in my opinion, I'm sure a bunch of people are like, "Fuck you, that guy's great," but. It's it's like do you like Dick Sargent or Dick York? Maybe drawing a line in the sand or something. Sure. Which Darren Stevens do you like?
Yeah.
If we're doing mid-show banter about TV that we
Sure.
we binged, I rewatched all of Trailer Park Boys again. I know you guys probably haven't watched that still, but that show is fucking hilarious.
That's the one with the guy with the big glasses, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Bubbles.
I see him in memes.
Yep.
Yeah.
He makes a face
That I
and then
post in our,
someone-
our Slack chat.
Yes.
Yes, actually.
But season 10, I think, is coming out soon, so I wanted to catch up.
There's that many seasons of that?
Yeah, it's
Man, Canadians.
it's fairly popular for
Oh, it's all paid for by tax dollars.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's good, and almost all of the cast that isn't dead is still in it, which is insane.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good drawing a line in the sand. You know, those that are dead and those that aren't.
Yes.
Those that aren't should not appear.
Yes.
It's my rule.
I was an alive cast member before I arrived.
Yeah. I mean, you got like a couple days after dying, you might still appear, but then after that,
Yeah.
no
No more appearing.
Yeah. Not everyone can pull a Tupac.
No, they can't. I mean, if you have holograms made of you prior to your death, sure, appear forever.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
Also, Tupac's not dead.
We're not having this discussion.
Tupac
again.
caused 9/11.
We're not having this discussion again.
Oh, we're not.
No.
Okay.
All right.
I thought it was settled that Tupac is alive.
I didn't know we had this discussion.
Well, it's like him and Jeff Buckley. They put out a new Jeff Buckley album
is Jeff
like
Buckley dead?
a couple weeks ago. He's
I
been
don't-
dead since '97.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like, and it's like we unearthed another demo tape, and it's like, my God, just leave the stuff alone, man. Like you probably gone through his house by now.
Yeah, it really starts to drag the bottom of the barrel, you know,
Yeah.
eventually.
There's a couple Smiths covers on it, so it's all right.
Well, it's kind of like when they wheeled out that fucking Beatles song, the bird song.
Oh,
and it was just
God.
like, yeah, like no, we
Free
were
as a bird.
we were good.
Yeah.
We were good. We were fine here.
Yeah.
Like we didn't need that.
Yep. So anyway,
Anyway,
second half.
All right, second half. Let's do it. All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
Second half.
Half number 2.
It's the part where we talk about movies that
Movie
aren't,
half.
aren't necessarily bad.
I won't.
Okay,
All right.
but
I
you
didn't
can.
watch any.
You can.
Like, I could.
This option is available.
I chose
to you.
not to.
All right. So I believe Chuck and I both saw 10 Cloverfield Lane, not together,
No.
but independently.
Separate occasions.
Yes,
Yes. That's a movie.
it is a movie. I think we're going to talk about it now a little bit. Lest you've been staying completely away from it, I'm going to remain spoiler free, pretty much entirely.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, in case you're somehow not hip to what's going on, Cloverfield is now like code for anything B movie, possibly monster genre, sci-fi, something related. Like this is not. I don't give a shit about your ARGs or hidden messages or whatever. It's not connected to 2008's Cloverfield.
Right.
You know, this is not that. It has nothing to do with that. I don't care what bullshit you read on whatever thing. It's not connected.
It's basically a genre of J.J. Abrams movies that
Right.
sneaks out to movie theaters without anyone knowing that they've made a movie.
Right. Exactly. Pretty much, yeah. And like almost no lead up marketing,
Yeah.
code names while they're shooting it and all this kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
that all being said, that's the backstory. So, let's try not to let your opinion about other things. Like, I know people for whatever reason hate J.J. Abrams. Like, anything he touches is like, fuck that, it's going to be shit. Bleh. But the thing is like, I get it. Like, whatever you feel about him and his, body of work, there are cases like Cloverfield where he's giving, young directors and people that have worked for him a chance to do things on their own, which I'm all for. Like, that's the kind of thing I want people to do. Like, I mean, you think back to like all of the people that basically spawned from Francis Ford Coppola, and it's like you need somebody who's kind of made it to be like, yeah, also, hey, friends, I'll vouch for this guy. He can make a movie. Let him make a movie. I'll help put up some of the money. These are the things that need to happen. Like when you've made it, bring your friends or bring people you think are talented along the way. So I'm all for that. So I think J.J. Abrams was doing great in that. Now you may have your opinion about the rest of this, and now also know that he has basically nothing to do with this except for slap his name on it because people know the name.
Right.
So that's also to say that.
So it's like the Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino thing from...
Kind of.
Maybe slightly more involved. Like, I think he spent some time on the set and, kind of oversaw it, but like he was not, I don't think, super creatively involved in this.
But you know how like there was just a million movies in the late 80s, early 90s that were executive produced by Steven Spielberg.
Right.
And then everyone was like, oh, it's a Spielberg movie.
Right.
Nah. Like Young Sherlock Holmes and Batteries Not Included and just all these things would have that Spielberg name on it, but they just weren't quite Spielberg things. That kind of thing. It's a brand. It's like all the Wes Craven presents things.
So yeah, so expect, hopefully they continue. I think critics are kind of being more universally positive to this one. Like, people were very torn. Cloverfield, original Cloverfield, is a very divisive movie because you have a found footage movie. It's automatically about people that you may or may not like. So you can have it turn to, like, you all turned on Paranormal Activity as a series because the first one had a couple of assholes that you kind of want the ghost to murder. It got better after that, So you have that. You have possibly unlikable people. You have the found footage shaky cam thing, so that immediately turns off a bunch of people. And then you have like the people who think all things like Signs, where you're not necessarily specifically seeing the thing. It makes it bad, So you're like, this is Chip. If it's a monster movie, show me the damn monster. So there's a lot of reasons for people to hate Cloverfield. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this new one. And essentially, this movie is a character study. It's close people off in a confined space, see what happens to them. Because very quickly, it's about get to the shelter, the thing you've seen in the previews. It doesn't linger in the outside world very much at all.
Right. It's
just kind of like, things are happening pretty quick. Bam, thing happens. We're in the shelter. Mary Elizabeth Winstead wakes up, and what's going on? And the thing I will say about the movie is, like, it's very rare for me to say this about a movie, but from moment to moment, you have no idea what's coming next. I don't know any way you could possibly predict what's coming from moment to moment. Like, it's clever and tense, and you just don't know character interaction or anything and what's coming next in that movie throughout the entire thing. I personally, I don't know if I loved it, but I really, really, really liked it. Like, I would say it's super strong. The last quarter could be a moment where the movie makes or breaks people. I mean, I'm not going to be spoiler about it. I'm just saying, like, it takes a detour from where you think it might be going, or where it seems like it might have been leading up till then. So, I don't know. I wouldn't even say it's a twist. It's just like a kind of a detour. That's the best way I can put it. But like, up to that, it's tense, claustrophobic, almost Hitchcockian, like, shots and angles and drama. Of just, it's almost a thriller.
It's a thriller.
It's a thriller. It's not even a horror. I mean, arguably a thriller can be a horror movie, but I mean, it's more like, I don't know what's coming next, and I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to find out. And also, I'm immediately putting myself into the role of the people. Like, there are points where it's like, crawl through tiny space, and I'm, like, my claustrophobia is like, no, fuck all of this,
Right.
And so it's that kind of movie that's just it's gonna play on, like, your fears and panics and things like that, and all of that paranoia and claustrophobia and everything.
Yeah, calling it a thriller is absolutely right. It's a kind of movie that isn't made anymore without, like, not even talking about the last, like, 25% of the movie, what it is or what it isn't, but like, the bulk of this movie is something that just seems like doesn't exist anymore. It is one of those things that, like, from moment to moment, it is kind of keeping you guessing, because it keeps giving you information. It keeps piling information on that makes you doubt the previous information you were given. So it's a constant, like, rethinking of, well, what the hell is this movie about?
Right.
I did kind of feel like you were saying, from scene to scene, I didn't know what was coming next, but for some reason, like, when a scene would start, once I got into the scene, I was like, okay, here's how this is going to wrap up. So it was like an unfamiliar familiarity to it. I don't know. It was this weird. It had this weird duality that I can't quite explain. It was unpredictable and predictable at the same time.
The whole young again thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did like it. I think it's one of those, like, good, not great things. I mean, like, when I came out of Cloverfield, I was like, fuck yeah, that was awesome. I can see why some people are miffed at this, but I really, really enjoyed Cloverfield. This one was like, that's a clever idea, and I liked a lot of the things they did in that. I just don't know if it's something that I could be like, fuck yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has that hurdle of a title to come over to begin with. I mean, that's a hurdle.
It does that movie a disservice.
It does.
I really wish they hadn't have done that, because when that trailer came out and you see that and you're like, fuck, they made another Cloverfield movie. Fantastic. And you got to get over that.
So, like, is it set in the same universe, or is it even definitively said?
There's some in-jokes.
There's jokes. Yeah. There's like, there's that the name of the company that what's his face worked for.
The Slusho Cola's in there, and the name of the Japanese company that he went to go work for is, you see it on some letterhead at one point. So, like, there's references, but there's no way it could be the same universe.
No. Okay. I don't think so. No. Not at all. The funny thing, to put it that way, I'm actually kind of completely reversed. Like, I like Cloverfield. I didn't love Cloverfield.
Oh,
Like I would say I'm closer to loving this one than I am Cloverfield.
Okay.
Like I really like Cloverfield. I'm just like this was more like, yes, this is my thing. Like
Yeah.
I mean, the characters number one are infinitely more likable.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't hate the people like a lot of people did for Cloverfield, but like I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's like fantastic in this, and John Goodman's amazing in this, and guy from Newsroom, I can't remember his name, is good. You
Yes.
know, like good to great. You know,
John Gallagher.
Gallagher. Yeah.
I came away from Cloverfield, and then I know it's a kind of a different entity entirely, but Super 8. And I just look at those movies and just they captured my imagination. They were just like, I want to know more about these things. I want to read about the little details and all the things they hid in it. And this one, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, that happened. Well, okay, that was a good time at the movies. What's next? You know, it's just...
That's fair.
I don't even know if I want to revisit it at any point, because it's kind of, once you know what that movie's about, it's like, okay, well, that's the movie. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out in 6 months again or so and just see how I feel about it now that I know everything about it. So,
Yeah. I will say, hey, if you poo-poo fan films, know that first-time director was given this movie because of a fan film.
yeah.
You know, that no previous professional directing experience. I mean, I think he did some commercials and music videos and things, but I mean, he made that Portal No Escape
Oh, right.
movie that's out there. We got like 1 billion YouTube views, and
Yeah.
they were like, hey, that's cool. Here, come work for Bad Robot.
Yeah. I like what this movie set out to do. And I wish there were more smaller movies like this. And I fucking love that it just snuck out. I wish all movies did that. I want...
They only announced it, 2 months ago?
Yeah. I wish all movies would just be like, hey, in a couple weeks you can go see this movie. Like, and that's the first you ever hear of it.
Yeah.
That is the best feel. This whole like wait till 2019 to see an Indiana Jones movie. Fuck off. I don't want to think about that for the next 3 years. That's dumb.
I don't really want to think about that one at all.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I would be infinitely more excited if they told me in 2 weeks you can go see a new Indiana Jones movie. I would be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you snuck that out. Let's see what that...
my dinner with Indy, that's about all they could probably shoot in that amount of time.
Well, I just mean had they been filming it.
Okay. All right.
In stealth.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I guess you couldn't film an Indiana Jones movie in a house and have no outside eyes to see Indiana
Oh,
Jones.
could you imagine if it was just like a bottle movie?
Just him in a
Where
bunker.
like Indy's locked in one place, he just has to deal with something for
He's
2 hours.
He's trapped in a bomb shelter.
Yeah, God, I couldn't.
I want to see him, like, you know, he Harrison Ford now is like the old man from Young Indiana Jones Adventures, and like he's got to like break out of the nursing home or wherever he was.
Oh, right. Where he's like,
last great adventure.
The saxophone, that takes me back to when I had adventures. Young adventures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Ned Cloverfield line.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I watched a couple other movies. I'm going to kind of rattle off some quick things here. I want to talk a little bit about. This is not a commercial. I promise you that. But I recently signed up for the service called Mubi, M-U-B-I.
Movie.
What it is in a nutshell is they always have 30. It's a streaming service, and they always have 30 movies available. So every day a new movie comes on, and every day a new movie leaves. So there's always 30 movies at your disposal.
Do they tell you what's coming or going?
No, I mean, well, you can tell what's coming or what's going because it'll say like 6 days left, 4 days.
Oh,
you know?
okay, well,
like
that's
so,
cool.
like they're always in order. Like this is the newest movie and this is the oldest movie. So if you go down the list, you're gonna be like, well, that's gonna go away soon. So, and the principle is it's mostly art house style movies, art house and foreign. So it's kind of like the kind of movies that you go, man, if I were not just watching junk food, these are the movies I probably should watch. They're not all great, but I mean, they're probably something that's more interesting than your standard movie. They're not always super obscure either, because like right now, I think Pulp Fiction, Amelie, and I think Aviator just left, but there's another movie like pretty big on there that's so they sometimes have some
Chasing Amy is on
Chasing
there.
Amy it's just popped up on there. So they have some movies people have heard of. I've so far I've watched Pulp Fiction and Amelie just because I know they're big movies and I've seen them, but I was like, it's been long enough that I need to see both of these, so I'm going to just watch them here because I can, and just proof of concept. So it's available on your mobile devices. It's on the new Apple TVs as an app. It's just pretty cool, and it's only like $5 a month. So
It's not bad.
if you're looking for like a way to supplement your art house movie thing, this is pretty cool.
It is cinema.
Yes, it's cinema. Streaming cinema. But no, I mean, this is no ad or anything like that. I found out about this. It's a pretty cool service. So, anywho, expect maybe me to every once in a while talking about some more artsy fartsy movies.
Sweet.
Speaking of artsy fartsy movies, I got one more movie to talk about.
Okay.
I watched the movie The Myth of the American Sleepover, which the reason I watched this movie is it's the first movie from the man who made It Follows.
Oh.
And as soon as I saw It Follows, I was like, this is very excellently directed. What else has this guy done? And so this is the only other movie he's done. So I hunted it out, found it, and watched it. It kind of like It Follows. I'm not real sure when the movie takes place. It's one of those kind of weird things where it's a period movie, obviously, just because of dress and style and everything like that. It's probably in the 80s, but they never specifically come out and say it, which I kind of like that. Just it's a period piece, but the period is not defined. It's not what makes this movie. It's a lot rougher movie. I mean, it's made well, but like the acting quality is lesser than, because it's kind of. This is like, okay, I'm trying to think like the best way to say this. Like, if you were to think about, this would be his Slackers, and It Follows would be like his Dazed and Confused, where it's like suddenly maybe some of the people are slightly unknown now, but they're going to go on to be famous later, and this is like all the people that kind of nobody's heard of for 5 years. I mean, they're some of them are all right. It's like the acting is like the weak point in this movie, because like all of the camera angles and editing and shot composition is still all pretty amazing. And like, it's funny, like both of these movies are very middling reviews on IMDb. And I was like, I don't get it, because like, I mean, this guy has like I see this being like one of the next great filmmakers from what I've seen so far, just in style wise. I mean, content wise, maybe I'd be all right if someone else wrote a movie. Like, I think that's maybe what people need to see something different, to someone else write one of his movies. But so far, I'm just super impressed. And like, if you like, I mentioned Dazed and Confused. That's probably the best thing to equate it to, just because it's about a large group of teenagers kind of getting into hijinks over the course of one night. Yeah. So it's, sleepovers become, let's sneak out and go do this, let's go do that, let's go to this other party, and all that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting little movie, and I like that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can see where you're coming from, BJ, with like, oh my God, I just totally blanked on the Wes Anderson camp movie.
Oh, Moonrise
Kingdom. Like, okay, so like, granted, those kids were a little bit younger than, like, they're teenagers in most movies, but like, one thing I liked is like, this movie is all about horny teenagers and obsessing about sex and how can we go talk to these girls and everything. But like, there's no nudity or leering gazes or anything like that in like any part of this movie. It's like the one time there's nudity, they're watching a horror movie on the TV. That's like, there's these points where there are fake movies within the movie that are on TV or whatever, and like there's a point where it's just this cheesy Friday the 13th-esque horror movie where they're like, yeah, I guess we're going skinny dipping, woo, and like that's like the only nudity in the movie is like this thing that they're watching, and of course they're all like, oh, boobs, rewind that, like, and so like, I appreciate, like, it's you can make a movie about a subject and not like dwell on that. It's more about a character study and not fully formed brains trying to cope with things that they don't fully understand. So I don't know, it's interesting. I think It Follows is better. It also now that I'm realizing it's kind of weird that the guys made two movies and they're both pretty heavily to do with sex, both as a thing people are discovering or maybe can kill you. So,
well, that's the logical progression.
it's a strange pair of movies.
Yeah. Well, no, that's human nature. It's like, hey, cool, sex. Oh God, no.
Right.
Sex.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, like I said, I see like a ton of potential here, and it's so weird that they're both like the very average 6.5 area rating on IMDb. I think I don't get it, because It Follows like way more competent and better. But whatever. Not everything's for everybody.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think
It
so.
is.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of something that is for everybody, though.
Oh. Emails?
Yeah.
Email for the people.
Yes.
Brought to you by the BMFcast.
Voicemails, all those sorts of things.
Yeah. Correspondences.
First one is going to actually be a Patreon sponsorship message.
Oh.
Ooh.
Sponsored content.
Yes. Yep, there we go. Oh my goodness. No, it's this one's from Jeremy, who says in his message to us, he said, "I'm so glad that you're now doing a Patreon. Jeremy here, and I've been listening to you guys for many years now. Bad movie Fiends and Is It Really That Bad inspired me to drag out an old game my college friends used to play and update it for the new era. No more handing of VHS tapes at parties. Now we mail DVDs around the country. So last year we launched the Bad Movie Game on WordPress, although badmoviegame.com redirects to it. We sure could use new members and would love it if you guys could help us out with a mention and urging for people to check us out. Maybe they'll want to join in the fun. Sent via the internet and your Patreon page. Support these guys so they keep making stuff, people. Jeremy out.
Yeah. Jeremy.
So that sounds fun, and I like that it's related to kind of what we do. I wonder how many BMFcast movies have been in the Bad Movie Game.
So
considering
far,
they have like 316 to pick from.
a couple.
Actually, more than that, because we've done a couple double headers.
D-Wars.
Dwars? Man, D-Wars is so good. It's so great.
Barbarians.
Yep. But yeah. But so check that out.
I think Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yep.
Oh, it better be.
Yeah.
But yeah, but thanks, Jeremy. And yeah, check it out, badmoviegame.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good URL. That's easy to remember.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
All right. So we got some voicemails.
Oh, shit. I forgot.
Would you like me to read an email
sorry.
instead?
I'm just popping no quarters, lower thirds on your thing by mistake. Hold, please.
Okay.
Okay, so first one is from Del Mar, California, I suppose.
Sure.
All right.
Hey, BMFcast, happy 300th. I am apparently stuck in time. My time machine dials are broken. I'm either in October 2015 or sometime in the 1990s. Not really sure exactly what's going on. But anyway, happy 300th anniversary. Hope you guys are doing well. I have something of a light recommendation. This might be good for a couple of jocks. It's TerrorVision from 1986. It's a Charles band, so you kind of know what you're getting. It's not as good as Dolls, but it's better than, well, I don't know. I haven't seen a band production movie in a long time. The last time I saw were set in that castle in Transylvania or somewhere that they were filming. Anyway, it's a very broad satire. It's almost a comedy, but there are very few outright jokes, if you know what I mean. Did laugh a couple of times, but mostly it's the actual production. There's a ridiculous monster. There's like white styrofoam explosions, that kind of thing. Mary Warrenov's in there, so that's a good sign. It's a little bit like a Videodrome, a little bit of like E.T., a little bit of The Man Who Fell to Earth, that kind of thing. Very strange film. At times it's almost a kid's film, except that there's a kid running around in sets that are decorated with like pointy kish kind of a thing. So anyway, this is straight out of Tijuana. Out. This message was sent via Edis in the Space-Time Continuum.
Thanks.
Great.
Yeah.
TerrorVision has Diane Franklin, someone.
Is that our first voicemail from Mexico?
Well,
That we know of.
I mean, that's not where the call came from.
Yeah.
The call was coming from inside the United States.
And he
Oh.
has called before.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps he was calling from Tijuana
Perhaps routed through,
Came straight out of there.
using a U.S.-based cell phone number.
That's true.
I watched TerrorVision last year.
Did you know?
I did.
Yeah?
I
What
watched
did you
it.
think?
I watched it for that series thing that I do.
Oh, you mean
Do
31
you mean
and
31 31?
Yeah.
That you can find at youtube.com/watercooler?
Yeah.
The finest
No.
YouTube channel in all of the internet?
It's not.
It's
But
pretty good.
It's all right. It was one of those that after I was done with it, I was like, this might be more sci-fi than horror. It's one of those that's like, if in the video store it could have gone in either section and you wouldn't have been wrong.
Okay.
So I didn't review it, but I do think we would enjoy the hell out of it.
All right.
It's got an energy to it that is pretty good, and a lot of just insane practical special effects. And it's one of those Charles Band movies where they throw everything at this movie. It is just like, do whatever, just make up crazy shit and do it. So I wholeheartedly support that recommendation.
Yeah.
It's on Blu-ray, looks great. So
All right. TerrorVision.
yep, we should consider it.
Put it on the list.
Okay, I think it already is.
Yeah. All right, next email. We got an email here. We got more voicemails, but we'll break it up. Email here is from David. He calls this big-ass movie. Hey, guys. Just bought one of my favorite martial arts films and have to tell you about it. It's called Born to Fight. It's directed by the guy who directed Bangkok Knockout and did the stunt coordination for all the Ong Bak series and The Protector. It's a fucking awesome movie with explosions, martial arts badassery, guns, and even rocket launchers. It's 96 minutes, and once the main plot starts, it doesn't stop. Highly recommended. Crash and burn, David.
I'm in.
Sold.
I'm in 100%.
Sold.
Tell me the name of it again.
All you had to do was from the director of Bangkok Knockout, and I was like, I'm in. You know?
Born to Fight.
I think it also has Tony Jaa in it, I believe.
Yeah.
No? I think I looked it up.
I don't know.
All right.
It is on the list.
Cool.
Yeah, I put it on the list.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Bummer. I mean, it didn't make sense. I understand they're not from the same place. I thought I looked at the cover and I thought that was Tony Jaa, but not. Oh well.
Yeah. So, what's next?
Voicemails.
Huh? Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
got like 3 more voicemails.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. We have more voicemails.
Hey, BMFcasters, it's Pally here. Calling to tell you about probably the best crime drama that I've seen in a while, and it's actually Zootopia. Yeah, I went and saw it opening weekend. I just now got around to calling about it. I have to be honest, this is probably the best crime drama that's not actually a crime drama. It's a family animated kids movie. But it's probably the best one that I've seen since, I don't know, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I think that's like the last one, really good one that I saw. Whole plot, bunny rabbit thing wants to become awesome cop in this giant city full of every animal and wackiness and all that shit. But it's actually a damn good movie. Written really well. Like, all the characters, like, are actual characters. There's no just, like, standalone, or not standalone, you know what I mean. Fucking, I don't know, I'm tired. I'm gonna call this back. Ignore this one!
Sorry.
So you played the one that wasn't flagged.
Huh? Flagged.
He sent one right after that. I unflagged that one.
Oh, I don't. The emails do not. Flagging the emails does fuck all for me.
Oh. All right.
Sorry.
Let's play that other one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm on Google. I have to go to actual Google Voice, and so flagging doesn't carry over because it's Google. Why would it? Sorry.
It's okay. That's weird because.
What's up, BMFcasters? It's Sally here. I was just calling in to tell you guys about probably the best crime film that I've seen in a while, and it's fucking Zootopia. It's Zootopia. Zootopia is a good damn movie. I'm not gonna lie, I went and saw it opening weekend. It's actually pretty damn good. The writing is pretty spot on, solid. There aren't any characters that are just, there to fill space. They're actually all pretty well developed, or at least interestingly written. Voice acting is damn good. You got your Jason Batemans and your Idris Elbas, and just an overall pretty damn good cast. Nice writing. What else is there to say? It looks fucking fantastic. It's interesting how they created this unique city that has just the way that they integrated how different animals interact with the same thing. So, like, for example, non-spoiler, there's a opening sequence where the rabbit cop from the all the trailers and everything goes into a train station, and there is a Jamba Juice like fruit stand. And not only do they have a little stand at the front, but they also have a pneumatic tube that shoots juice up to the giraffe customers. Just a bunch of goofy-ass bullshit in this wonderful movie that just made me smile, and this shouldn't come to a surprise as anyone who follows my Twitter feed. Fuck you guys, judging Jasons and shit. Anyway, go and watch it. It's probably the best crime movie I've seen since, like, I don't know, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. like, that's not really saying much. I don't get out a lot. Anyway, I've got groceries in the trunk, so I need to get going. You guys take it easy. Have a good one. And see you later, pal. You out. Send for my slowly defrosting Tombstone pizzas, which, jeez, they've been in there for like 30 minutes. They're probably bad. Fuck.
Wow. That was a tale.
Zootopia had a ton of good reviews.
Yeah.
Like, apparently people really like that movie.
It sounds like it's probably a quality piece of work.
I knew nothing about it until I started seeing those reviews. Like, nothing. It was one of those, it just came out of nowhere.
Oh, kind of like the other Pixar movie of the year, where it was like, "Hey, we put out a Good Dinosaur.
Yeah,
did 2 Pixar movies. You want some?"
Yeah.
It used to be like 3 years between Pixar movies. Now we get 2 in 1 year.
Yeah. And by the way, Screamin' Sicilian Pizza, give that a shot. Much better than Tombstone.
Oh, is that what he said? Tombstone? I thought he said like, I don't know, something.
No,
else.
he said Tombstone.
Yeah.
No.
I agree with Mackie.
on your
If you can get Screamin' Sicilian, it's freaking delicious.
Pizzas are good. If
Well,
you have to eat a frozen pizza.
You just need a big enough oven.
Nope.
Wow.
What?
Nah.
Nope.
Nope. But them pizzas are good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only ones I buy now.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin wants to know, what do you want on your tombstone? It's going to be nothing because you're going to be dead in the woods
Oh.
from a stick.
Damn it. You ain't gonna like it.
No, not a stick.
Instead of pizza, I want you to go to Stone Cold Steve Austin's Cold Stone Cold Creamery.
Yeah.
Get yourself a cone.
Get some bark on it.
Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome, pal.
I have one more voicemail. Am I playing it? It just came in 33 hours ago. Has not been touched. Has not been touched. Touch it. Touch it.
Touch the email.
There was also an older one, I thought.
I thought we'd played all of
From
this.
706.
I thought we played.
Oh, yeah, we did. I just didn't unplug it. I'm sorry. You're right. So you're saying it doesn't put a star on it? Because whenever I flag anything on my account, it does that.
Yeah, I'm saying
it
Google
shows up.
Voice is like a whole different part of Google, and Gmail
Google
doesn't
Voice.
talk to it.
Okay. I understand that.
Yeah. Even though they probably could with, all like take an hour of the week that you fuck around with YouTube and integrate voice and mail into one star
For
system.
real.
For real?
Yeah, we got one more email and one more voicemail.
Might as well let's do one more email just in case.
Okay.
Break it up.
Next one up is from Pierre, who writes and says, an oft-overlooked cinematic classic. Greetings, BMF pals. I write to you today about an often overlooked cinematic masterpiece that I caught on TV late the other night. I humbly submit to you a movie that tells the tale of a patriarch desperately trying to keep his family together in these ever-changing times, a wife who's tempted to begin an affair with a famous lounge singer, a son with a chronic gambling problem and identity theft issues, a daughter trying to determine her own identity as she matures into an adult, the extended family who are expecting a newborn in hard financial times, all set against the backdrop of the city of second chances, the city of lights, Sin City, Las Vegas. This masterpiece was crafted by thespians far more talented than we can possibly imagine. A movie that stars, for its time, recognizable names, features many well-placed cameos, and manages to tell this tale in an efficient 93 minutes. By now you're all probably wondering what movie I'm talking about, or the too long did not read version. I was up late one night and watched Vegas Vacation. It's goofy fun and obviously so bad it's good way. Alcohol may have been involved. It has Wayne Newton playing probably the best nice guy asshole I've seen in a while. Thoughts? Keep up the great work. Except for my Tiger Electronics game com. Wait, I did it again. Wrong podcast. Pierre.
All right, I'm going to throw this out there, and it's an unpopular opinion. I don't care. I'm going to rank the vacation movies for you.
Okay.
It's Original Vacation, Vegas Vacation, European Vacation, Christmas Vacation.
You have Christmas last, huh?
I do.
Wow.
Because as a movie, it's the most broken. However, some of the skits are some of the funniest things.
Yeah,
in there.
it is a series of skits for
It's
sure.
a fucked up, barely makes sense as a movie, though.
I don't know if I agree with that ranking, but I will fight anyone who says Vegas Vacation is a bad movie. That movie's fucking hilarious.
I saw it
I
in
would
the
stand
theater.
beside you in the shield wall against the bastards who are trying to bring us down about Vegas Vacation.
I saw it in the theater, and I don't recall much, except for some reason his name was Nick Papagiorgio.
Yes.
I always remember that, and whenever I go in a casino, I
Yep.
want to tell them that my name is Nick Papagiorgio, but
Yep.
they're probably all like, "Yeah, we fucking heard that one already,
Yeah,
dickwad."
1,000 fucking times.
Yeah.
When we went out to Vegas, we did that joke, my wife and I, back and forth to each other
Yep.
every single time. And we were like hardcore looking for the idiot casino that Clark goes into where it's just like guess the number and, you know, high card and just like the dumbest games.
Yeah,
That movie has there's a lot of good stuff in that movie. Vegas Vacation is perfectly acceptable.
I just put a quarter in and won a car. Put a quarter in and won a car. We get the idea.
yeah, and then that dude was on Walking Dead like earlier this season and got murdered promptly.
He did.
Which dude? Ethan Embry?
Yeah.
Yeah, the son.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Audrey ended up on 24, and
Yep.
she was pretty freaking hot.
Yeah, she got hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like she was hot then too. It was okay.
Yeah.
She was like 25 playing.
Oh,
17.
yeah.
Yeah. I've always been an Ethan Embry fan. I thought his run there for, you know, the mid to late 90s
I
was
agree.
a solid run.
It was your stars shone too bright too fast.
Yeah.
Where did you go, Ethan Embry?
Yeah. Well, there were no roles for 30-year-old goofy guys, you know, who were just goofy. As a teenager in all those movies, he was like, yeah, that makes sense because teenagers are awkward as fuck, but you can't be a 30-year-old businessman and be Ethan Embry.
Yeah.
Because
I
you
beg
saw
to
what got him
differ,
what that got him in The Walking Dead.
Oh,
He was being
God.
fucking stupid.
Ah, he was the worst. Oh, he deserved to die.
Yeah. So
Maybe you can move into the creepy role, like what's his face from like Ted and stuff. God damn it, Frank Jr. from Friends. Whatever. These are the things I'm thinking of him right now. Fucking come on, Chuck. You don't look like me. You know who I'm talking about. All right, you fucking asshole.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're
Phoebe's
talking about.
sister in Friends. That guy, Giovanni Ribisi. It just came.
Oh, okay.
He has to. No, Ethan Embry needs to go into creepy mode like Giovanni Ribisi, and then he'd be okay. He'd have a future career.
I would argue that Giovanni Ribisi has always been creepy. Like even when he was teenager, he was still fucking
I'm just
creepy.
saying, like, embrace it. Get to, like, just,
Fair enough.
like, go this way.
Yeah,
Like,
like I don't know. Giovanni Ribisi seems to keep adopting weird accents in all the movies that he does for no real reason. He's like, I talk like this now, which is just like, hi, I'm Giovanni Ribisi.
oh, the Peter Stormare route.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know what he's doing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I will fight anybody who says Vegas Vacation is a bad.
All right.
movie.
Well, so obviously that's out of our thing, but we all like it in our own ways.
Yes.
All right. We have one last voicemail. Shall we
We
play
do.
it?
Yes.
Hey guys, this is the one, the only Russell T. Jimmy's calling in. I think I recall, not on a previous episode, maybe the most recent, possibly the one before that, you were mentioning, somebody possibly mentioned watching Turbo Kid for the purposes of the show. I bit the bullet, I watched it. I can't say that I recommend it. It wasn't terribly bad. I mean, I watched it all the way through, so it wasn't like painfully bad. It was just mostly kind of boring. Very low budget, which is not necessarily a minus, I know, for you guys. And I mean, there is some cool stuff, some cool decapitations, lots of blood splatter. But all in all, I mean, it's a retro pastiche that tries a little bit too hard to be edgy. So, I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of meh, which I know just kind of makes for a not terribly interesting subject matter for the show. If you guys really love it, you guys tend to take that and run with it. And if you guys really hate it, you're able to take that and run with it too. But this movie is just so resoundingly mediocre that I don't know if I can really recommend it for the purposes of watching on the show. Anyway, Russell out. Talk to you later.
I thought we kind of just took the attitude of, like, it's going to be a thing. People go, Kung Fury, Turbo Kid, and then, like, it's forgotten in a couple weeks. So I thought we just kind of, like...
I mean, it basically has.
Yeah, I've been seeing of late, like scrolling through Letterboxd, I've been seeing some very harsh ratings for Turbo Kid. Like, I don't know if it's backlash against it, or if there's like a Kung Fury versus Turbo Kid thing happening, or what.
Well, there's been a lot of harsh Kung Fury lately, too.
Okay.
Like people have
Just backlash.
gotten around to it now, are just like, wow, fuck that thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think it's equal measure. I hate to put it this way, but it feels good to know that there are other people who like view this stuff the way we do, and that we're not just like broken by seeing all the movies we've seen.
Right.
Because there are plenty of people who are like, no, this stuff isn't genuine and it's bullshit and it can fuck off.
Yeah.
Which we weren't quite like to that level, but
I'm a little bit that level with Kung Fury. Like Kung Fury was just, it was fucking relentless. That's the problem with it. Is it's like we're gonna make 30-minute movie. It's just gonna be like retro punch, retro punch, retro punch. You know, and it's just like fuck. Okay, I'm exhausted after 5 minutes of this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I said with Kung Fury, if that had been like cutscenes in a video game, that would have been great.
Sure,
but watching it as a movie,
it was just like what? Like I don't know. It was exhausting, and thank God it was only 30 minutes. Because like I mean, I hope Turbo Kid is like slow it the fuck down.
Turbo Kid seems to have like a plot and a through line and a reason to be from one thing to the next, whereas Kung Fury is just like, here's a Triceratops with a cop costume, you know, and suddenly there's Thor riding an eagle, and it just, you know, it's just like, okay, random thing.
Right.
It doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be an everything is terrible video.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you have to something has to link all that stuff
I think
together.
we mentioned it a while back, but like, you know, Danger 5 is like Kung Fury done better and slower and, you know, more deliberate. You know, it's just like we don't have to have all the dumb shit from every genre movie in the 80s in one little 30-minute skit.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a fucking movie. It's a fucking skit. It's like, you know, it's like the grand finale of a talent show is what it is.
Yeah, it's like a medley.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I still haven't watched Turbo Kid. I'm not opposed to watching it. Just haven't gotten.
I think we should all just watch it on our own.
Shiny Lights T-Strail told me to watch it, so it's probably garbage.
Yes, sadly, it's not entirely
he
inaccurate.
is not to be trusted.
Yeah. Especially
I mean, I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm not saying that
fair.
he has bad taste. He does, but I'm not saying that.
Never have more shitty movies been watched on Netflix by someone not doing a podcast.
Right.
Willingly,
ever.
just
willingly
for their own benefit.
Like you drill down the horror section, it probably says watched to just about everything.
Our tastes just so infrequently line up on stuff like
Right.
that. And he's like, "Hey, did you watch Turbo Kid?" I'm like, "Not gonna now." I might.
Because that's the thing is like even if it is something good, he's going to beat you to fucking death with it before you actually get a chance to watch it. You know, or he's going to beat you to death, and like if it's like mediocre, like John dies at the end, I'm going to be like fuck everything about that. Because like you for 6 months have been badgering me about this movie, and that was what fucking was.
Oh,
you know.
do you remember getting badgered about Lost? Well, you were watching Lost.
I was watching as it happened. So
he just unrelentingly everything in his life. I mean,
Well, he had like the numbers on his car.
Yeah.
He just
well, okay. You ready for one more deeper?
Yeah.
You remember his so he used to be into the whole car stereo kind of thing, and he had this enormous Cerwin-Vega, subwoofer, and the box for the subwoofer was covered in what looked like polar bear fur.
I'm not trying to take credit because I wouldn't have actually done it, but I kind of came up with that idea for him. He was trying to lost up his car, and I was like giving him suggestions.
But he did it.
I know. That's the difference. I was just like, well, it'd be pretty dumb if you like had that big ass subwoofer in the back that looked like a polar bear. Okay, I can make that happen. All right, well,
Wow.
I mean, I think personally, in the back of my mind, I was just like, make your car look like a '70s pimp car, please.
Just do the whole thing.
I was
in
like,
fucking shag carpet.
do they have like leopard skin in Lost anywhere that can get away with that?
Yes. Just say yes.
Anyway,
But yeah,
now that we're done ripping on T-Strail,
not that he has bad taste, but he has bad taste.
yeah, he kind of does.
yeah, it's not that he has bad taste. It's just his tastes are terrible.
Yes.
Do you want to give us some contact information?
I guess I can do that. Let's see. BMFcast.com for the website. There's a bunch of buttons on the right-hand side. Click all those and do all the things. BMF at BMFcast.com for the email. That's a good way. And 9105-JACKS-BMF, 910-556-9263 for the Garfield phone. Call and leave one voicemail and fuck it up in the middle and then call back and and correct yourself.
And we'll play both.
Also, patreon.com/BMFcast. We finally met our merchandising goal, so be on the lookout for your bespoke, artisanal BMFcast panties and garter belts. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Not coming soon.
Don't worry, I'm designing those.
Oh, then maybe they are.
They'll look like beards.
That's a quality you want in your panties. Please wear them with the shortest skirt you own.
See, this is why Chuck's never going to have an episode where he can't laugh.
Because all I have to do is drop.
Oh man, I need to get in touch with that $25 person.
I emailed them. I sent them that
The
note.
one guy.
Yeah,
And
no response. So I'm gonna keep laughing.
you lucked out, you son of a bitch. Uh-huh.
Is that it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
I think there's an ending somewhere around there. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and find it. So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out.
Were you about to do the burr, 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 burr? No. Sounded like your version of it.
My God, it's bearded panties.
They're fruity, delicious, fruity. Skittles.
I missed the whole Fruity Delicious thing. What?
I'll repost it.
Okay.
Oh, it was an episode of Raw that was sponsored by Skittles, and they just took every fucking opportunity to go.
it was like 6 months worth of,
Yeah.
of
Was
ad
it?
reads where they
Okay.
just kept reading it over.
I thought it was all
Yeah,
one.
they
I
make
thought it was all
barbecue
one
ones.
evening.
Yeah.
I thought it was all one evening of just like this episode's brought to you by Skittles,
No,
so
no,
every
no.
commercial break.
They were sponsored by Skittles for a long time.
Okay.
Whenever JR
Fruity,
really
delicious,
just
delicious, fruity.
fucking sell a party, they would make a comp reel out of it.
Yep. Shut it down.
Good night, everyone.
I forgot to say this on the show, but
Like, do you want to?
no.
All right. Goodbye. I'm just like clicking the buttons. You're like, I forgot to say this.